a day to work at a sports station because you're just totally justified to have one or both eyes on the TV all day. What time did that first World Junior game start? Was it 10 or 10:30? It was early. It was before noon. And am I evil by saying...
Well, hang on. Are you evil? No. Now continue.
Yeah, I don't think generally I'm evil. I may have evil thoughts or do the odd evil thing. Was I evil that I was hoping Latvia would win?
No. They're the underdog.
By the way, spoiler alert, if you tape the Latvia-Sweden game...
Well, it's a sports
I know.
network.
I'm just joking. Sweden did beat Latvia 3. What were the shots, Coop? 51-12, something like that? Do you have them?
It was insane. I don't have the exact number.
It was a big shot advantage. Here we go. 50-13 for Sweden over Latvia. Sweden at one point was up 3-0. Could have been 4-0. Latvia had a successful challenge on an offside, and then they scored shortly after, scored late in the second period, could not tie it. So I guess my question there, Jay, was am I evil? Was I evil earlier today for wanting Latvia to pull off the upset?
They're the darlings of the tournament.
They really were.
They were, yes. No, I don't think you're evil at all for wanting that or wanting them to win.
I just feel sometimes in these tournaments when there's a defined underdog.
Yes.
I mean, it's not like in the NHL where, a 98-point team beat a 104-point team. That's not really like, okay,
right.
How big of an upset is it? Latvia over Sweden. Now, Latvia did beat Canada in a shootout, but I was kind of hoping Latvia was going to pull that one out, or at least send it to overtime.
Yeah, just for the fun of it, because it was...
just to make it... I mean, it wasn't a blowout. I mean, it looked like it could be, and certainly the thinking going into that would have been, okay, it's going to be a big win for Sweden. So that happened. The U.S. game... Now, this game we stopped watching because, it is over. United States beat Sweden. Wasn't it 4-1 still in the first period?
Yeah.
United States, and they scored a couple goals early. So that game was not overly compelling. Slovakia and Finland will play right now, and Canada and Czechia will play at 5:30 Mountain Time. So we have a lot to watch here. And on the ESTV here in the studio, we have the Sugar Bowl, of course, postponed from yesterday because of the tragic attack in New Orleans. But it is Georgia leading Notre Dame 3-0. You know what? I'm going to sound like some curmudgeon. I guess I kind of am. I have trouble reading this style of scoreboard that they've been using. I don't know, just the way the score is. It's not, to me, it's not close enough to the team name. But it is 3-0 Georgia, correct?
Yeah, I much prefer in the top corner. Just old school. But this seems to be very strung out.
Or if the score was on if Notre Dame's score was on the left side of its logo and Georgia's score was on the right side of its logo.
It's the Notre Dame lack of a quality logo that does it.
It's ND.
Yeah, it could be
North
Dakota.
Georgia's logo is just a big G.
But it's a colorful, neat
Notre Dame's helmets are just big gold helmets. So this game, it's 6 minutes in the second quarter. Who was favored in this one, by the way?
It was pretty much a pick 'em, but it was still Georgia. At the end of the day, it was still Georgia.
Okay. So they'd actually be, if they win this one, they would be the only top 4 ranked team to advance to the semis.
Georgia?
Yes.
Yes.
Which leads to some criticism for how the tournament has been structured, which I'm sure we'll talk about.
You mean Notre Dame, if Notre Dame wins.
Well, why does it have Notre Dame 7 and Georgia 2? What am I missing?
It's just in the top 8. It's re-bracketed, I believe. Like, these aren't their actual college rankings from the season.
This is the tournament seeding.
I believe, yeah.
Right, but the other seeds were all 5 through 8 that have already won, like Penn State and Ohio State.
Like Oregon last night?
Oregon was the number 1.
That lost?
They're out.
To the number 8 seed?
Yes.
Right.
And weren't they supposed to lose?
Well, not by the seedings.
They beat them in the regular season. Okay, anyway. So this game's been interesting. A punter, which team? The Notre Dame roughed the punter on consecutive punts, and Georgia didn't get a first down out of it.
That's correct.
Because it was 4th and more than 10.
Well, they called it contacting the kicker.
No, sorry, they didn't call it roughing the kicker.
As opposed to roughing the kicker. But both times, the person that contacted the kicker nearly took his leg off. How those were not 15-yard fouls, I
So the rules guy they had come on during the broadcast, from the snippet I heard, you were watching more closely than me, said that because the Notre Dame player didn't run into the punter's plant leg, it was only 5 yards. Even though, to me, it looked quite dangerous, especially the first penalty.
Oh, yeah. Don't worry about the actual ball leg that has to make contact with the ball. We'll just worry about the plant leg.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
It's okay.
So that was, to me, that's rare. So Georgia punts, 5-yard penalty on Notre Dame, not enough for a first down. They punt again, another penalty for contacting the kicker, which was similar but maybe not as bad. So they didn't get a first down of it. And then what happened just before the show starts? Somebody on the sidelines got a penalty?
Yeah.
For interfering with the play or celebrating?
Idiot red shirt was celebrating on the sideline.
Because Georgia got a long pass to get inside.
A long pass, and he was the white line that goes around the field. That is for the officials. If that official,
it's not just decorative that it's that wide.
No.
Yeah.
If that official's booking it down that sideline and you're there, well, that's not good. So he got a 15-yard penalty for that.
Oh, so he was jumping up and down during the play, and the ref's like, hey, man, I got to get through here.
A, just be happy to be there. B, get your ass to the back of the bench. Beat it.
Now, is anybody allowed to stand there? Not the head coach or anything?
Well, the head coach would be, but they'd be behind the play. This was a deep play, so that's why it happened so fast, is because it was a long shot, so it was down near
remember when Tomlin interfered with the Raven player? That might have been almost 10 years ago now. I think he got fined for that. Didn't he see himself on the scoreboard?
That was on purpose.
You think that was accidentally on purpose?
Yes.
Oh, if I turn my back and watch the scoreboard, I can justify that I didn't know. There's players there? I didn't know.
There's players on the field of play. What a concept.
Duck Dad in the nasty chat. I don't know if Duck Dad's a nasty chap. I'm pretty sure that he isn't. Duck Dad in the nasty chat on YouTube. And by the way, go there to converse, not so much with us most times, but with each other. Duck Dad says they're ranked by how much money their universities paid to be ranked, I think, which is both cynical and hilarious.
And possibly
true. And possibly true. That's the great part of it. You can say something cynical and have it still be possibly accurate. Yeah. So, Duck Dad, that's a good start in the nasty chat. You can also text the River Cree inbox.
Whoa.
Welcome aboard, River Cree. The afternoon inbox presented by the River Cree Resort and Casino. Canadian musician Alan Doyle and comedian Ben Bankus coming to the River Cree in January. For details on tickets, visit rivercreeresort.com. Awesome to have River Cree supporting our inbox. 780-218-9999. We will talk Oilers today. We will talk Connor Brown. We will talk a little bit about Leon. We'll talk a little bit about the PK. We'll talk about not last night's game, the New Year's Eve game against Utah. We'll talk about the game against the Ducks tomorrow. We'll touch on a lot of things with the Oilers. Of course, we'll keep you updated on football. We'll talk with Brett Boyko from the Elks, offensive lineman who played NCAA, who was on the Eagles roster in the NFL. Big final weekend for some teams. It's so funny, eh? So Denver is the team that controls their own fate. The Bengals have to win and have Miami and Denver lose.
That's right.
So that's why they're playing on the Saturday game.
Yeah.
When they redid the schedule. So if Denver wins, they're fine. But also if both Miami and the Bengals lose, then Denver's in anyway.
Denver's
right?
still in, yeah.
But also now Denver gets to play the Chiefs with like a random guy off the street playing quarterback. I know it's Wentz, but it's not Mahomes.
It's not going to have the same luster as a game with any sort of implications. But the Chiefs have already wrapped up the AFC, so. And Saquon Barkley is not going.
He's not playing. We were talking about that with Jed.
Looks like the Eagles are going all in here. They by all accounts and what I've been reading, this is Super Bowl or bust for them, which I understand every team is. But there's some teams that have realistic, like the Commanders, Jaden Daniels. They're not realistically.
They're on gravy money.
Yes,
they're spending gravy money.
That's right. But their fan base is not, expecting them to come through with a Super Bowl victory. They're just happy that they're in the playoffs for the first time since 2020.
Is gravy money a thing?
Young Gravy's a rapper.
Oh,
And
really?
Yeah. Right, Coop?
Oh yeah, phenomenal stuff.
Yeah, he talks a lot about money like rappers do.
Okay.
So, yes,
Gravy.
money.
The last time Washington made the playoffs, was it not the game somebody was hurt and they had to play Taylor Heineke?
Well,
At quarterback?
Taylor Heineke came in and almost took them to beat the Tom Brady-led Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He came in because Kirk Cousins got injured. I believe.
Cousins was there, right?
I believe. I believe, or
Yeah, you might be right.
maybe Kirk was already gone. Kirk would have already been gone. It was somebody else. But yes, Taylor Heineke came in, and that was the start of the Heineke lore. It wasn't Cousins. It couldn't have been Cousins in 2020.
Well, that was 5 years ago now.
I guess it is
that's right.
2025, isn't it?
I got to look this up. List of Washington starting quarterbacks. We had in 2020, Alex Smith, Dwayne Haskins, and Kyle Allen.
Dwayne Haskins.
Was he the one at the end of the year that got hurt?
Well, he was.
And it doesn't list
it was
Heineke
Alex
because
Smith, because that was
Yeah.
when Alex Smith tried coming back from
he
that
was
horrific
quite a
injury.
story, eh?
Who?
Smith.
Yeah.
Because didn't he get the flesh-eating virus? Or has some sort of flesh-eating...
he broke his.
But when he was recovering.
Yes, he got a very bad infection.
And then didn't he come back and play for the Chiefs and got hurt, and then that's how Mahomes got a chance?
He got hurt with the Commanders.
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
He tried coming back with the Commanders.
after he was with the Chiefs.
Yes. He never went back to the Chiefs.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. He's an incredible story.
Oh, and his leg is still...
he could have lost his leg, right?
Yes, very close.
I think when I'm trying to remember now, I think he's one of those people, the story wasn't, can you play football again? Will you have your leg?
Yeah.
Like, don't worry about anything else. But anyway, what were we talking about?
That's a great question.
Yeah. Text us on the River Creek inbox and let us know what we're actually discussing on the show today. World Juniors, we were talking about that. So Sweden outshot Latvia 50-13, won 3-2. Then Jay and I lost interest in the United States game because it wasn't going to be an upset. Canada, so
USA's a wagon.
Where's Hernan? Was it you or Hernan that was saying? I didn't even realize. Okay, first of all, I should say Canada, United States, New Year's Eve game, I totally was disengaged from. I was at the Oilers game. I kind of said when I'm covering the Oilers, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I was aware of how Canada was doing. I was aware there was a lot of penalties. I was aware Canada was having discipline issues, but I wasn't totally, invested in following the action second by second. But Canada has not allowed a 5-on-5 goal in this tournament. Yet we're kind of already talking about this World Junior team for Canada as an underwhelming team, a lesser team. Like they haven't even played a playoff game yet. I guess now they can salvage the tournament.
All it starts with is tonight. This is when it really counts.
Right.
You're in the quarterfinals. Win. It's Czechia. Win this game and then move forward. That's all you can control. Now, who do they face in the second round?
Probably Sweden.
Probably Sweden, right?
Right. Because the way they do it for the World Juniors is, I had the page up earlier. I'll get it again. So they cross over for this first round, 1 against 4 and 2 against 3. But they also rank the teams 1 through 8. So the first two, so the rankings are Sweden, U.S., Czechia, Finland, Canada, Slovakia, and Latvia and Switzerland. So then they take the semifinal teams and rank them. What I'm saying is you could play somebody in your pool again in the second round. So right now, Sweden and the U.S. have advanced. So if Finland wins and Canada wins...
So it's Finland, Slovakia.
Canada would play Sweden. Right. So you're not... what I'm saying is if you could play someone in your pool again in the semis and at the same time having two teams from also in the same pool playing the semis. Anyway, so we don't know for sure who they're going to play. Likely... Well, who knows? I mean, because Slovakia, Finland's the other one. Who knows? But yes, so that Canada, and then that game's at 5:30. So we'll have an update, partial update on that one while we're still on the air. The football game is still 3-3, Notre Dame and Georgia, 5:47 left in the first half. So yeah, I wasn't beyond kind of following the score and seeing the odd bit of video from it. I wasn't really watching the United States game, but was it 4-1 for the States in the end?
Yes.
They got an empty netter, and all their goals were on the power play. So that's where I was going. That Hernan was telling me Canada's not allowed a 5-on-5 goal in this tournament.
But yet they're still not.
And yet we're saying, they're not that good.
Still not remotely close to being, if they medal, is that a victory?
Well,
or is it gold, silver, or bust?
I think it's gold or bust. But maybe we have to be
realistic.
And I do think that as great as we are at hockey, and I do think we should take pride in that, I think we have to realize other countries play pretty hard too. I just hate when, and I think it's a small majority of fans, I think most people are logical about it, but a Canadian team loses, especially a junior team. And remember the tournament in Vancouver a few years ago, I can't remember who it was, the kid got stopped on a penalty shot in overtime. And like people on Twitter are like sending him death threats and stuff. And it was like, you think he wanted to score? You think the Finnish goalie maybe wanted to stop it?
Well, there are people out there, unfortunately, that are like that.
Yeah, and I think with the junior team, I mean, they're younger, the emotional swings are more, there's more mistakes sometimes, and other teams are good too. But, I mean, from an objective standpoint, maybe this isn't as strong a Canadian team as other years. You got a chance now. So New Year's, it's 2025. We have an off-topic topic. Now, you and I said on, what was the last show we did? Tuesday,
yeah.
We said neither one of, well, I shouldn't speak for you, but I said I don't really make resolutions, at least not formally. There might be things, okay, I want to do this, or I'm conscious of something, but I won't sit down and say, I must do this.
Right.
If there's something I want to do, it's a work in progress. I'll decide in July I want to do this or set a goal for myself. But I respect that some people make New Year's resolutions, and even though you and I were kind of joking about them, I respect that there are probably some very successful New Year's resolutions that people have enjoyed in the past.
Sure.
So that is our off-topic topic. Text the River Cree inbox, email reid@edmontonsportstalk.com, jump into the nasty chat. Tell us a successful New Year's resolution story from your life or the life of someone close to you.
Yeah, like last year, my New Year's resolution was to shut down our furniture store, start working part-time for a sports radio station in Edmonton, and then eventually get, hired full-time by said sports station, and then work with a legendary broadcaster named Reid Wilkins. Yeah. That was my incredible story from last year.
Now, in that scenario you had in your head, how long were you on probation from your new employer?
This again, eh? Just always got to bring it back.
Well, now
to
it's
the
where you're 4 months in. Is your probation over? Because mine was over at the end of November.
Reid, mine's over at the end of February.
Okay.
And boy, are we gonna have a party. They're gonna wish they didn't take the probation off.
Dustin's gonna put you back on probation.
Yes.
You're on a second round of probation. First employee ever.
Yes. Yeah.
Can that happen in the workplace? It's like, well, we're retaining you, but we're not taking you off probation.
It's like no soup
there
for
must
you.
Be rights. There must be
no
more employee rights to that.
Freedom for you.
You remain on probation. We can still dismiss you.
I'd take it
at our whim. The off-topic topic.
Oh, Duck Dad says Jay leaves out his incredible performance at Super Bowl 2024 watch party that laid all the groundwork. That's true.
I did not see that.
It was spirited.
Okay.
Literally and figuratively.
The off-topic topic is presented by William Huff. Since 1952, William Huff has provided industry-leading advertising solutions for thousands of valued clients. Their unparalleled customer service, combined with decades of industry expertise and a desire to make every job the very best it can be, is what they call the William Huff Advantage. Visit their website at williamhuff.com or give them a shout at 780-454-4536. Oh, we're having fun already. Lots more to come. It's the Reid Wilkins Show with Jason Mill.
Canada gets set to face Czechia with the United States walking past Switzerland 7-2 earlier today. And right now, Finland leads Slovakia 2-0 early in the first. And in the NHL, Zachary Leroux has been given a 3-game suspension after he slew-footed Jared Spurgeon of the Wild. And 12 games dot the schedule today, seeing the Rangers play the Bruins and the Ducks against the Jets. Elsewhere, 6 games on the NBA slate, including the Clippers tipping off with the Thunder. And down south, the Sugar Bowl sees Georgia and Notre Dame tied at 3, nearing halftime. This sports update is sponsored by Advantage Sports Medicine and Physiotherapy. Get treated like a pro with their highly skilled crew. Whether you're recovering from an injury or looking to enhance your performance, Advantage Sports Medicine and Physiotherapy uses the same locker room approach, trusted by the best in the game. Find them online at AdvantageSportMed.ca. More with Reid, Wilkins, and Jay Milne on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubish for your sports update.
GCL Diesel has been serving oil country since 1972. From diesel cars to SUVs to pickups. From farm tractors to school buses to a big rig. From diesel generators to forklifts, GCL can test, troubleshoot, and repair all diesel fuel system components. Whether it's injectors, pumps, turbos, filters, or additive, GCL has the parts you need to keep your diesel running the way it should. For genuine diesel parts at wholesale prices, visit GCL Diesel in the West End or online at GCLDiesel.com. GCL Diesel. Diesel understood.
Food Sausages makes their meat with nothing but the best local ingredients. From chicken, beef, and pork, their gluten-free sausages are packed with flavor. Every single bite. Get a 10% discount when mentioning Edmonton Sports Talk in-store or use the code EST when shopping online at foodsausages.ca. Plus, you get free delivery on orders of $100 or more. Find them at 6736 99th Street. Food Sausages. You can't beat our meat.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
You know, this year, I want to give the gift of Christmas spirit.
Okay, well, what's the going price for Christmas spirit?
Actually, surprisingly affordable. $25 brings Christmas to life for a senior living at a Capital Care Center.
Oh, that's amazing.
Well, yeah, and they have a community shuttle, so Christmas spirit continues all year long. They can go out and do things and just be reminded there's an entire village of people who care about them.
Become a part of our village at Capital Care Center. Donate at capitalcarefoundation.net.
All right, hope you're having a great day. They just flashed on the I think it was Jordan Faison, from Notre Dame, also a 2024 NCAA champion in the sport of lacrosse, dual sport athlete.
What a guy!
Congratulations, someone I just heard of 7 seconds ago.
Reid, this came in on the River Cree inbox. This is sensational. My 2024 resolution was to lose 40 pounds by July. Not only did I do it, but I ended up losing and keeping off 52 pounds.
Amazing.
Yeah, baby.
That's great.
Yeah, health is wealth. That comes in from Tron.
I like hearing that. Oh, from Tron?
Tron, yeah.
I know someone named Tron.
You do not.
As a nickname.
Not as a real name.
No, I wonder if that's the same person.
Did they lose 52 pounds?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Here's the thing. I feel like in this day and age, you have to be conscious about talking about weight because some people don't fat shame me. Well, I weigh. This is my body. No, I'm not trying to do that. But I'm saying some people.
Oh.
I'm saying some people decide that they would like to achieve a different weight, right? And lose. Usually, it's a lower number.
Yeah, that's a good.
Usually,
big one.
But I enjoy those stories because I think that's one thing that really requires commitment, but is also attainable if you commit to certain things. I remember a few years ago when I was doing Inside Sports, I talked to someone around this time of year about New Year's resolutions and health. And I said, okay, what's realistic though? Like what people might say, I want to lose 10, 20, 50, 100, whatever. What's realistic? And the person said, really a pound a week.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I said, okay, so if someone wanted to lose 20 pounds, they should be able to do it by Canada Day. I mean, I even added on a few weeks, and they said, yeah, like that's actually realistic. But that I think though that's the hard part about, because I've gone through there was a year I lost about 20 pounds, which I've now put back on and more. But that's the hard part, right? Is it can feel slow. You might not see anything for a month, or you might go, oh, I'm 4 weeks in, I've only lost 3 pounds, but that's actually not that bad. That's actually a healthy pace.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, that's a great story.
The results always take time.
Yeah.
But once you see them, then that motivation really ramps up.
Right. And you create new habits for yourself, perhaps.
And Spency 5 cents, he said, Tron Funkin' Blows. You know what that's from, right?
What is that from?
Fubar.
Oh, God.
Tron was Terry and Diener's buddy that was married to Trixie.
Oh, I don't even remember that.
Tron Funkin' Blows.
I remember other lines from
Well,
that.
actually, they didn't even say Funkin' Blow. They said Tron Funkin' Blow. They were spray painting one night in downtown Calgary. Graffiti artists.
Was that what it was?
Mm-hmm.
780-218-9999 is the River Cree inbox. Jump into the nasty chat on YouTube. Give us a thumbs up there as well. We try to get to at least 100 every show. At least. Jay will give me a word of the day that I will have to spell and try to figure out the definition of. What was yesterday? Carcophagus?
Nice.
No, that was Tuesday. Carcophagus, which I Carpophagus, which I did not spell, nor did I know the definition of.
Which is
there's something to do with
feeding on fruit.
A fruit diet. Yes.
Like Dustin does not have a Carpophagus-friendly diet.
He certainly does not.
Or maybe he does. Maybe he's just hiding.
Maybe he's changing. Maybe he's come back with a resolution. Is he going to eat the pickled herring? We don't know yet. We were talking about that the other day too.
They'll have to decide.
He can do what he wants, I guess.
Ultimately, he can.
I will begrudgingly grant him free will.
Yeah.
We're in the James H. Brown studio. James H. Brown Personal Injury Law Firm, the heavy hitters of injury law, with over 200 years of experience. James H. Brown will get you the settlement you deserve. JamesHBrown.com. Book your private consultation today. All right. So I have a question for you, Jay. You have one of the first things I learned about you since we started working together is that you do not like kickers.
No.
In football, or at least kickers who fail. Like what, never kick a field goal, never punt, just don't even have them on the roster?
100%.
Always go for it.
Yeah.
All right, but you especially don't like kickers who miss easy kicks.
Oh, it's honestly...
Like if you had a kicker who went 29 for 30 and his one miss was when the coach put him out there at the end of the half to try a 60-yarder.
I like that guy.
He's
my guy.
At least you'd be indifferent toward him.
No, I would like him.
You would actually like him.
He's doing his job.
Okay. But generally you aren't fond of kickers.
Not at all.
So what would you find the most irritating then? A kicker who doesn't make enough makeable kicks? A team that commits 2 roughing the kicker penalties, even though they were contacting the kicker on consecutive plays,
the kicker,
both of which were avoidable, or a player on the sideline. So these are things we saw in this Georgia Notre Dame game, or a player on the sideline taking a penalty by being somewhere he shouldn't and hitting a ref.
If that player on the sideline happens to be a redshirt kicker, I would lose my mind. No, it's none of it's good. None of it's acceptable. The kicker, even the punter on those 2 kicks, I don't know if you guys have been watching, if the Nasties watched that early in the game. Stay down. Act like you just lost your leg.
Wait a minute. So you don't like kickers because...
He didn't even screw up good.
Wait a minute.
He didn't even screw up
so
good.
You don't like kickers because they're not playing real football like the rest of you. So
no, I've never said that.
Okay.
It's because they have one job.
Right.
They're a valuable part
saying.
of a football team. They have one job. And it's very rare that you find the Justin Tuckers of the world that actually do their damn job
he missed a short field goal in an
he's
AFC
not
title
getting
game.
younger. He's not getting younger.
All right, but
even this kicker in the Georgia game, stay down.
But I think, I don't want to put words in your mouth or thoughts in your head, but I've always interpreted part of your disdain for kickers is that maybe you don't think they might be a little soft, that they weren't good enough to play quote unquote a real position.
No.
Okay.
They're football players just like the rest of us. Now, mentally, they might be a little soft. I don't know. But
that's what I'm saying.
This all started. Let's just. My outward disdain for kickers started with the Elks kicker Boris Beatty, who was terrible to start the season, and my knowledge of knowing that these kickers do nothing but kick all day.
That's true.
One job.
They might lift a little bit of weight.
If that,
do some leg presses.
But they have one job, and to go in and screw it up repeatedly.
Okay, but now you're saying
they're part of the team.
Because I would think in most situations you would not. My knowledge of your personality would indicate to me that you would not like a player in any sport to embellish an injury or act injured when he was not.
Yeah, unless you're a kicker.
But in this case, you thought that this Georgia kicker,
but that's part of the
should
job.
have rolled around and been like, "Oh my God, I can't believe this mean Notre Dame fighting Irish player."
He shouldn't have left till the ambulance was about to show up. Yeah.
Then he should have been like, "Okay, wait, I can walk.
I'm good, guys."
Is that guy kicked out for hitting me? Okay, we got a first down. Okay, good.
Give my 2 plays off. No, there is a process. I mean, at that part, that's part of the game inside the game. He just bounced back up like nothing was going to happen.
Okay.
Like he knew they were going to get the 15-yard
penalty. Or
penalty.
even a little slow to get up. Like do some inventory. Like, okay, legs. 1.
Right.
2. Oh, ref. See how hard he hit me? I had to count my legs to make sure they were still there.
Yeah, he didn't even do that right.
Speaking of which, field goal attempt coming up for Notre Dame. It's 3-3 with 43 seconds left in the second quarter. Hey, the kicker is Mitch Jeter. Wonder if he can play shortstop.
What a weird game this has been, hey?
Yeah, not a lot of points. Les Sweet says, wasn't there a movie when a horse was the football team's kicker? Yes. What was it called?
I don't.
There was the horse like stood with his back towards the uprights and then struck backwards with his back leg. It was probably a Disney movie.
Gus?
Was it Gus?
Gus, 1976. The inept California Adams floundering.
ATOMS?
Adams. ATOMS.
Up and at them. No, up and at them. Up and at them. No. You're radioactive, man. Up and at them. Up and at them.
Floundering in the cellar of the National Football League. Oh, they were in the NFL. Welcome the team's newest member, a mule capable of place kicking a football 100 yards with deadly accuracy. So, no, it was not a horse. It was actually a mule.
And as you're saying that, Van Owen in the Nasty Chat gets bonus points today, writing in horse or mule. I love that one of our listeners was like, wait a minute, guys. Mule, okay.
They are a different breed.
They are different.
Yeah.
They are different. So we have to. I think this movie might have been on because does anybody remember CBC used to have Disney at 6:00 on Sundays?
Yes.
And if they showed a movie, it would be over 2 weeks, right? Yeah. Someday, and you never knew what it was going to be. At least then when I was a kid, Is it an animated show? Is it like Spook Mountain? Like you didn't know. All right, so Gus the Mule is the movie of the day.
Get out the VCR. We need a fresh cassette.
Was it just called Gus or was
Gus.
it called
Gus?
Gus. Was it in theaters or was it made for TV? And was it Disney?
It was Disney.
Okay.
Yeah, Disney. It's on Disney.
NAS 26. I hope I'm saying that right. Was it NAS or NAS? It's with an S. 90% of football fans couldn't kick a football 30 yards, and some make fun of NFL kickers. LOL. Well, fair enough. I wonder how far a field goal I could make.
No. See, that's being taken out of context.
Which Gus or this text?
Naz. Because that's their job. You're paid a lot of money to kick the ball through those uprights.
Not the NCAA guys. Well, some of them might be.
Yeah, they are.
Not anymore. Though.
So to not, yes, Corey B with the glue crew.
Hey, Corey.
Had a B. That's the problem I have is they do not do anything else on the team.
Okay, several questions.
Go ahead.
Does it say what Gus's record was for longest field goal?
Yeah, let's get
Because
to
Duck
this.
Dad says everyone should know a horse is only accurate up to 90 yards, not 100.
Ed Asner, Don Knotts was in this.
Oh, wow. That's incredible.
Box office was 21 mil. Not bad for 1976.
Wonder what rules they had to bend to get the mule on the team.
Yeah, like what do you do with all the manure? I mean, he's going to dump.
And
on
what if
that
he
field.
fired one out while he was kicking? Maybe that was the tee. He just plopped a little bit.
No, George is falling apart here.
So how
Reid.
far? Okay.
Oh, with the Adams headed to the Super Bowl, they went to the Super Bowl. Spinner and crankcase steal Gus and replace him with an ordinary mule.
Oh, that's
At the Super Bowl, Gus's handler Andy quickly realized the mule he has is not Gus. Oh no!
What a story. We
Yes.
gotta watch this.
Gus was airlifted to the Super Bowl in a daring rescue. And due to the rescue, Gus collapsed on the field about to kick the game-winning field goal. And it forced Andy to run it into the end zone for a touchdown.
Well, they had no other kicker. No one else who could kick.
No.
We should ask the Metro Cinema at the Garneau if they would screen that movie for us.
Sure.
We could have a big watch party.
Yeah. That'd be great.
That would be incredible. Okay, so here's a question for you. And I'll tell a quick story. I believe it was 2004 because Saskatchewan upset the Esks in the West semi when we had that fake punt call, lost 14-6. I think it was 2004. And then the West final went to overtime, and McCallum, I think, missed an 18-yarder in overtime from the Riders. So on the Monday after that, I was in Lloyd. I went out to Lloyd Comp, and I did a story with their snapper, holder, and place kicker on an 18-yard field goal. And at the end of the story, as my stand-up, I kicked an 18-yard field goal in dress shoes.
Oh, wow.
Now, I did it on the second take because on the first take, my dress shoe was like, it was just the slip-on. It flew off as I kicked the ball.
Yeah.
So then I made it, and then I turned to the camera and was like, see, even a sportscaster in dress shoes can make an 18-yarder. But of course, it's not the pressure. No one's trying to get it. But okay, so let's say
Did you toe punt it, or did you kick it like a soccer ball?
I just kicked it. I ran up to it and kicked it. I don't.
But like, you know how like
This
John
is
Cutler
21
back in the
years
day
ago.
would have toe punted it?
No, I
Like-
soccer angled.
Okay,
it.
you
Yeah,
soccer kicked it.
Yeah, I soccer
Okay.
kicked it.
Good for you. That's good.
So how far of a field goal? Let's say, well, it's not. It's there's snow on the ground now. Let's say we could go over to the Commonwealth Rec Center,
Yeah.
and I'm your holder. We don't do the whole operation.
Yeah.
I just say, okay, pick a yard line. I'll hold it. You kick it.
Yeah.
How far do you think you could make one?
40 yards.
40?
Yep.
I'd like to think I could do 20 straight on. I don't.
40.
Yeah,
Now, give me a week to practice.
you're doing 65.
Maybe even 80.
Just this. We couldn't even do it in the Commonwealth Rec Center. I don't think you could do an 80.
Yeah, probably not. Glue Guy doesn't like kickers because they can't kick like a mule. That's right.
Oh, Notre Dame got a touchdown we just missed. I think they recovered a fumble and
They
ran
did.
it. Okay.
Georgia's falling apart, but I still think.
Aren't you hopeful Georgia will win?
Oh, yeah, always.
But just purely for fun.
What is this?
What did somebody send you? Is it a picture of a mule kicking?
No. Oh, this is a funny one. Came in.
Can we? Are you be sure you can read it?
Yeah, no, we'll get to it in a little bit.
All right, we better take a quick time out. The EST inbox presented by River Cree is 780-218-9999. Here comes the Coob with a sports update.
World Junior quarterfinals action sees Slovakia down 3-0 nearing the end of 20 against Finland with Canada getting set to battle Switzerland. And in the NHL, the Red Wings play the Blue Jackets, the Senators face the Stars, and the Lightning meet the Sharks with 12 games around the league. And down south, Notre Dame has scored a touchdown and a PAT to make it 13-3 over Georgia, entering halftime in the Sugar Bowl. Meanwhile, 6 games dot the NBA slate, having the Nets tip off against the Bucks and the Lakers on the court with the Trailblazers. This sports update is brought to you by Sit and Sleep, and Sit and Sleep has kicked off its Boxing Week sales, where you can save big on all the major sleeping brands. Get a queen-size Eurotop mattress with patented non-flip pocket coils, gel memory foam, and 5 comfort zones for half price at just $3.99. Shop great deals like this and more at Sit and Sleep, but only while supplies last, so don't miss out. Get shopping at Sit and Sleep. Find them in South Edmonton Common, next to Planet Fitness. The Reid Wilkins Show returns on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you in the loop.
You want the heavy hitters on your team, both on and off the ice. If you've been injured in a car accident, call the heavy hitters of injury law. James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers, with over 200 years of combined. You want the heavy hitters on your team, both on and off the ice. If you've been injured in a car accident, call the heavy hitters of injury law. James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers. With over 200 years of combined injury law experience, their precedent-setting lawyers are ready to help. Locally owned and proud Edmonton Oilers fans, James H. Brown and Associates wants to support you with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, head to jameshbrown.com.
The grand opening sale at Sit and Sleep is almost over. This is your last chance to take advantage of the special introductory sale prices on all mattresses. Stop in today for a free pressure point scan using cutting-edge technology so sleepologists can identify the perfect mattress for you. Right now, get free local delivery on any mattress over $7.99 and receive a free bamboo cooling mattress protector. Enjoy grand opening savings with every mattress on sale. Join us on location today for the final celebrations at Sit and Sleep in South Common next to Planet Fitness. Don't miss out. The grand opening sale ends soon.
Gallo LLP is an Alberta-based accounting firm with expert chartered professional accountants in both our Edmonton and Sherwood Park accounting firms. Our experienced and innovative accountants provide financial advice that saves our clients money. Simply put, we help our clients protect their assets and grow their businesses. At Gallo LLP, they go beyond the numbers to ensure the continued success of your business. Reach out to Preet or John to discuss how they can help your business grow. Visit gallollp.ca today and see how they can help you take your business to the next level.
Tommy Gunn's Barbershop is more than just a barbershop. It's a top-notch, tailor-made experience from check-in to check-out. Get a precision haircut, a classic shave, or a facial to step up your style. Just walk in, relax, and let Tommy Guns take it from there. Find comfort in knowing their team follows the code, which is their commitment to care for you as a customer. Check out Tommy Guns today, in-store or online at TommyGuns.com to bring out the best in you. Tommy Guns, where every cut is done right every time.
Oh, welcome to 2025. Hope you're having a great year so far. We were off yesterday. Back today, tomorrow, Oilers game day. They're going to play Anaheim at Rogers Place. More on the Oilers coming up at 4 o'clock with the Oil Understood, presented by GCL Diesel. Connor Brown remaining up there with Nugent Hopkins and McDavid at practice today. Portions of this hour presented by Canadian Brewhouse. Wing Wednesdays, unbeatable at the CBH, only 69 cents each and a mountain of flavors to savor. They got a flavor of the month every month. Do that wing thing every Wednesday at the Canadian Brewhouse. Give us a thumbs up if you are taking in the show on YouTube. And, of course, the EST inbox presented by River Cree is 780-218-9999.
I've got a couple limericks come in. Limericks to start 2025 from William Mike Spear, who, as we know, is an accomplished writer.
Yes.
Is that Reid or Dominique? Slam dunking just like a freak. He flies in the air with nary a care, showing his godlike physique.
Oh, that's really good.
Happy New Year from William Mikespear.
So rhyming freak, Dominique, and physique.
That's very
That's
good.
outstanding writing.
Mike, the Michigan fan, writes in.
Was he done a limerick before?
No. Michigan beat Alabama, no flair, with defense that swarmed everywhere. No offense in sight, but they still won the fight. Their D left Bama gasping for air.
Pretty good.
Not bad.
Pretty good.
He did say he's thanks to ChatGPT for that limerick.
Oh, did ChatGPT write a limerick?
We're getting there. We'll take whatever. And Barry the Cheater said, wasn't Tony Danza the garbage man field goal kicking Philadelphia Eagles guy? I don't know what that was. Tony Danza.
Tony Danza. Well, there was a movie about.
That was the Marky Mark.
Wahlberg was the guy.
Wahlberg.
Was it not Invincible? What was it called?
Yeah, Invincible.
Was it called Invincible?
Yeah.
Well, Danza could have played somebody else.
I don't know.
What was the movie where Kathy Ireland was the kicker? The Replacements? Remember the team was on strike and Gene Hackman was the coach and Keanu Reeves was the quarterback? And wasn't Kathy Ireland the kicker?
Wasn't that the guy that was wiry? The soccer player from England? Who always drank and smoked?
I thought Kathy Ireland was a kicker in the Sports Illustrated swimsuit model. Kathy Ireland played a kicker, I thought, in the Replacements. And so then she kicked that guy in the groin and said, "Welcome to football."
Oh, I don't know. That's news to me.
I'm sure it was the Replacements with Hackman, Reeves, Kathy Ireland. Now, was it the Replacements? What was it called?
I keep thinking it wasn't Kathy Ireland a writer.
I'm sure I'm thinking of. How do you not know Kathy Ireland, the swimsuit model? Kathy Ireland, American actress and author. She's now 61 years of age.
She's 61 years old.
She appeared in 13 consecutive Sports Illustrated covers. And filmography was... No, I got it wrong. Necessary Roughness.
Unnecessary roughness.
No, Necessary
roughness.
Okay, I'm mixing up the movies.
Yes, you are.
So she was in a movie with Scott Bakula, Robert Loggia, Sinbad, Rob Schneider, Jason Bateman. So that was in 1991. But was there not a movie called The Replacements with Keanu Reeves and Gene Hackman? 2000 film. Sports comedy starring Keanu Reeves, Gene Hackman, Orlando Jones, Brooke Langton, Rhys Ifans, Jon Favreau, and Jack Warden. Movie loosely based on the 1987 NFL strike. All right, so that Kathy Ireland was in Necessary Roughness, and she was not in The Replacements. Well, I was in the general ballpark of knowing something.
Well, Zach, we got another bot.
We got a bot in the nasty chat. Somebody who really wants people to watch the college football playoff. How does this happen?
I don't know.
I think Zach is muting them, so hopefully people... All right.
And please report the bots when they come in. Report them as spam, and you'll never see them again.
How do we do that?
You can click in the nasty chat on the little 3 dots beside their comment. And then click report.
Oh, here we go.
With the necessary actions.
Unwanted commercial content or spam. I am doing that. All right. Hopefully that helps. What was I going to ask you? Well, we've sorted the movies out, sort of.
Yeah. How about those Oilers lines?
Well, we're doing those at 4 o'clock.
You know, Reid,
so that
I must
was the
say,
movie.
This is probably the best part about this show.
What?
Is that, you know, if we go off on a tangent, we're sticking to it, damn it.
Well, absolutely.
I was thinking, you know what I thought?
What?
I was thinking Jake Ireland, the referee.
No, Kathy Ireland.
Yeah.
And Joanne Ireland was the sports writer.
I know you said Kathy, but isn't it weird where your mind goes? Kathy Ireland was a sports writer, right?
No, Kathy Ireland was a model. She was in my life.
Joanne Ireland.
Joanne
Yes,
Ireland.
Caster,
Joanne Ireland's an awesome
Thank
human
you.
being, by the way.
Thank
I
you,
used
Ken.
to work with her on the Oilers beat. Kathy Ireland
Wow, look at this. Castro 1990 summarizes everything we're trying to say here. Jay, you were thinking of Joanne Ireland, the Journal reporter. Reid, the kicker in the replacements, is Rhys Ifans,
who then played the lizard in the Amazing Spider-Man.
Lizard in the Garfield Spider-Man film.
Good movie. The second one
wiry.
sucked. All right. So I think we've straightened that out. Okay, no, we haven't. What movie was Tony Danza in? In what movie was Tony Danza a garbage man who kicked?
Tony Danza, football moving. What? What is this? The garbage picking, field goal kicking Philadelphia phenomenon.
Right. Okay.
That's the name of the movie.
What year was it?
Is this a joke?
No, that's a real movie.
1988.
I don't think I've seen it, but I remember.
1998 television movie
It was a
starring
TV movie.
Tony Danza from Walt Disney Pictures. Wow. Barney Gorman, played by Tony Danza, works hard as a garbage man in Philadelphia, but his career indirectly embarrasses his family.
Indirectly.
Indirectly.
Are you guys embarrassed? No, we're not embarrassed. And it's like they pull somebody in the next room. Hey, actually, we are. Or it's like they drop somebody's like, hey, are you embarrassed by your brother's profession? No. And then that person gets a note in their mailbox. To answer your question, actually, yes.
Do you guys like that your dad is able to afford Christmas gifts? Oh, yeah, cool, Dad. Turn around. Ugh. What a tough job. It's a tough look for our family, for the Gormans.
Okay. Anyway.
Oh.
So to make up to not embarrass his family, he plays for the Eagles. Isn't that more embarrassing? I-oh.
Barney, due to a sticky lever on his garbage truck, Barney has developed a very strong kick. One day at the city dump, Barney kicks a water jug extremely far. Oh, get this. Get this. It just gets better.
This is unbelievable.
One day at the city dump, Reid, Barney kicks a water jug extremely far. It catches the attention of a group of Eagles executives who just happen to be scouting the location for land to build a new stadium.
Oh, my God. Well, you need breaks in life.
What a break.
All right, so there's another. So we have to watch Gus, and we have to watch the garbage-picking, field goal-kicking Philadelphia phenomenon. Is that the movie?
Yeah. I wonder if that came from Ric Flair. The garbage-picking, field goal-kicking Philadelphia phenomenon.
I vaguely remember, I think, that movie being on TV. I doubt I watched it. So here's my question then, Jay. So I think I could make a 20-yard field goal. Current condition. No training. Current lack of cardio. Not at my ideal weight.
Cardio.
You think you could hammer a 40-yarder?
Yeah.
I always sort of feel bad when they have it at the halftime at Commonwealth, and I'm sure a lot of football teams do it because it's a pretty easy thing to do. Kick a field goal. If you're good from 15, you get $1,000. If you're good from 20, you get $5,000. And if you're good for 30, you get 30. You know, and you can always tell right away if they're going to have a chance or not. And one thing I've noticed at Commonwealth is, okay, if it's 20 yards, I mean, most people could kick 20 yards, I think.
No.
But they don't get it in the air.
Well, yeah.
So when they don't get it airborne, I'm getting all technical. They're obviously kicking the ball too high. So is that a plant foot problem, a step into it problem, not looking at the ball?
Probably not watching the ball.
Right.
You have to, it's like a golf swing.
Right.
You have to watch the ball first and foremost. That is the most important part of it. Follow through, plant foot. A lot of it goes like I'm not saying it's easy to kick a football. I'm not saying that. But if it is your job, then you better do it pretty well.
I'm talking about people trying to win money at halftime now.
Brent P. wrote
you and me
earlier into the River Cree inbox, and he said, I won the Elks kick to win halftime competition.
Oh, nice. Okay, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
He says it was punting, not kicking field goals, though. Not sure how far it went, but it went quite far. They had the contract waiting for me to be the team's new punter before the ball hit the ground.
Nice.
Interesting.
I couldn't punt very far. Okay.
Punt? Do you think you could punt further than you could kick, though?
I don't know. I don't feel like I could punt very far. Plus, with punting, are you measuring the distance from where I am, or assuming there's a line of scrimmage 12 yards in front of me?
On the pass punt kick ones, they measure from where you kick from.
Oh, okay.
Kick from this line, and it's whatever, 30 yards, 40 yards.
I don't know if I could punt 30 yards in the air.
I just can't wait. We've got to do this.
We got to go try this in the weather is better.
Yeah.
We have to have so
Combine.
for punt, pass, and kick, is it basically you do a kickoff however far it goes? Because the punt, pass, and kick competition, the kick is not accuracy. It's not a field goal, right?
It's just all distance.
This is what Andy Reid won in those old videos where he's twice the size of the kids' his age.
Yeah.
And then I don't even know if I could throw a football 20 yards anymore.
Oh,
like as you've seen here, I have trouble gripping a standard-sized ball because I have small hands.
We could deflate it a bit.
A little bit of deflate gate.
Yeah, your favorite.
I use a gate. It's not deflate gate. It's the deflated football scandal. There are no gates involved.
The funniest thing is that YouTube Trev, or the Tube as they call him now, thinks he could beat me at that.
No, he couldn't. See, this is one of my pet peeves.
Yeah.
The average person who thinks they could beat somebody who's done it. I mean, you didn't even do it professionally. But you'd still be better than 99% of the football players on the planet, or people on the planet who think they could play football.
I'd be better at Trev at most sports.
He's got a hell of a leg, though. He's got tree trunks for legs. He almost played for the Kodiaks for soccer. He is amazing at soccer. And you can kick a. You have to kick a ball.
Pass. I meant the pass. We were talking about passing. I think he thinks he could beat me. I think he thinks he could beat me in one-on-one basketball. That ain't happening.
No, probably not.
No. And he also thinks he can beat Reid in track and field.
No, he doesn't. But he's like Trev's. He's almost upset that I'm good at that game. And I'm like, Trev, I'm not good at anything. Like, give me something, buddy. It's a track and field video game. Like, give me something. I am pretty good though.
Oh,
that was the best session ever earlier today.
Maybe that's what we should slowly start developing here, Reid. Is a starting to put together some sort of a combine for the EST, but it would have to have certain events. Like we're not going to measure our VO2 max.
Well, we should just for fun see what it is.
You could to embarrass ourselves, yeah. But I mean, there's got to be a 40-yard dash. Like, there's got.
I don't know if I could finish.
Well,
it would take me 2 days.
That's part of it.
Is it in chapters?
Reid abstains from the 40-yard dash. You could have an NA.
I could run 40 yards.
You could jog.
I don't think it would be considered that it was a dash.
But then it comes in points. So first place gets 10 points, or however many people there are. First place gets 12 points. Last place gets 1 point.
Right.
So it is in your interest to at least finish. So there'd be a run. There'd be a pass.
Right.
There'd have to be all sports. Like you'd have to have baseball, basketball, hockey, accuracy or something like that in hockey. I think
it's getting a little too big already, Jay. And I don't want to discourage you from thinking big. I think it's getting a little too big.
We gotta settle this. I mean,
so here's quickly just to wrap this up. Well, for now, we'll probably get back to it. The people who do the kick at halftime at football games. And sometimes you just see right away this person doesn't have a chance. Like their runoff is up, their plant foot is 3 feet behind the ball, and then they're trying to swing through and hit it. And I feel bad for those people.
Yes.
But I think a 20-yarder I'd have a decent chance of making. If I got the elevation, I would just have to drive through and follow through to get the elevation.
Well, and it's not like you're kicking a soccer ball. This is not a round ball.
Right.
So if you're going to soccer-style kick it, you have to kick it in the right spot.
I would at least know enough fundamentals about kicking that I think it could make good contact. Now, maybe I shank it, but I think I think at 20 yards, it would be above the height of the crossbar.
It is harder to kick that way, than a toe punt. If you're totally new to it, a toe punt would be the way to go.
I couldn't do that.
You wouldn't because you can kick a ball.
Right.
But maybe I would.
Okay, 780-218-9999 is the River Cree inbox. You can post in the Nasty Chat on YouTube. Give us a thumbs up there as well. We got a pretty good total going so far today. We want to get to everybody. Just do it. Just do it now, and we'll almost be at 100. Good posts. I'm not going to read every post about the rankings that's going on in the Nasty Chat, but thank you for educating me on that as well. We will have the oil understood, but first we got the Cube and a few messages.
Get to know the winners Props, plays, parlays, and more with Nielsen and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11 on The Lock Shop. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Your home for live music and great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino.
When I'm up, I can't get down, can't get down, can't get level.
Don't miss Canadian singer-songwriter Alan Doyle as he brings the East to the West, January 17th.
I said, hey, 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 it's just an ordinary day, and it's all your state of mind.
Get your tickets at River Cree Resort and Casino. River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement, bet on it.
Celebrating 70 years in the signage industry, William Huff Advertising is the most recognized name in the game. An in-house, one-stop shop for all of your design, print, and installation needs. William Huff provides quality graphic solutions for everyone. Here in our City of Champions and throughout the nation, they are the preferred signage partner entrusted by many of the biggest corporations, pro sports teams, and organizations to bring their identity to life. Recognize the name, get in the game. WilliamHuff.com.
In life, it takes a village. From childhood to your golden years, we all need support. At Capital Care Foundation, we've built that village for our 2,100 seniors. Join us in creating a nurturing environment that feels like home and fosters community connections. Your donation makes a difference. Visit capitalcarefoundation.net today and become a vital part of our village. Because together, we can make every stage of life a shared journey. Be a part of the journey. Support Capital Care Foundation.
World Junior quarterfinal action sees Canada taking on Czechia and Finland throwing it down with Slovakia, with the Finns up 3-0 entering the middle frame. Elsewhere, Nashville's Zachary Leroux has been suspended 3 games for slew-footing Minnesota's Jared Spurgeon, having the Wild on the ice against the Caps tonight on a 12-game NHL slate. And on the court, the Pacers play the Heat, and the Nets tip off with the Bucks, seeing 6 games in the association. And in the Sugar Bowl, Georgia is down 13-3 against Notre Dame, entering the third quarter. The Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Millen continues right now. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
Oh, hey, Nasties, what's going on? Along with Jay Millen, I'm Reid Wilkins. Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton Sports. Zachary Kubish is here as well. We got the ESTV going with Georgia and Notre Dame. Canada plays, 5:30 for hockey? The other game going on, Finland leading Slovakia 3-0 after 1. What are the shots in that game? They are. It's not coming up for me. That's fine. All right. Earlier today, Latvia hung in there against Sweden. I was hoping for Latvia to pull it off. They could not. Oilers practice today. They were off yesterday. Quick, just to wrap it up, Jay. I know it was almost 2 days ago now. Look at this. Start of the second half. Kickoff return, Notre Dame. Touchdown. 19-3. For the Fighting Irish.
Georgia should be ashamed.
Well, they probably are. That fan looks ashamed. The people there, they're kind of dressed like the Legion of Doom, the wrestlers
That
from
would
the
be
90s.
the worst, too.
What was it, Animal and Hawk? Was that the Legion of Doom?
Oh, my God, buddy. Make a tackle. Some of these
well,
athletes.
they're just kids, Jay.
Oh, grow up.
What do you think of the Oilers' win over the Utah Buzz, the Utah Hockey Club?
Dominating. I thought that they controlled the game. They controlled the pace of play. They didn't allow opportunities. They took advantage of the opportunities they had. They could have scored a lot more. But no, I thought it was actually how do I say this? Satisfyingly boring game. Because it wasn't drama filled.
No, not really.
But they put the foot down and they got the job done. What more do you want?
I thought they played well. They dictated the game. They could have scored more, especially in the second period. And I realize Utah had chances that they missed, but they didn't have a ton of chances. Here's the thing. Utah didn't have a lot of sustained pressure. There was a lot of one and done.
That's right.
The Oilers didn't make a lot of huge... I don't know if the Oilers made any huge mistakes. I mean, there's always mistakes. I don't know if they made any huge mistakes. I know the Oilers shuffled the lines after the first period, which we're going to talk about what the lines were at practice today, but they were just very under control, responsible defensively. I'm going to single out one play because, a lot of times when the Oilers give up a goal or they have a big game, it's, well, this guy screwed up. Why didn't this guy do this? And to me, this just proves that there are mistakes. There are bad decisions. There are quick decisions you have to make. Not even the best players always make the right one. And the other team's trying pretty hard too, don't forget. But there was a play, I think it was late in the first period. Emberson had the puck kind of just below the right side face-off dot. And he kind of got pressured by a Utah player, and he spun to try to get away with the pressure. And he spun actually right into the check. The Utah guy kind of adjusted, and he spun into the check, and the puck kind of just drifted, kind of got loose. Podkolzin was back, cleared it away. So to me, that's an example. So if that puck winds up in the Oilers' net, what was Emberson doing? Why didn't he read the play better? Why didn't he get rid of the puck? But things go wrong. And that's why in hockey, if you don't make big mistakes and you have players in the right spot, they usually don't bite you. Big mistakes, bad passes up the middle. The Sergachev pass that Nugent-Hopkins knocked down and then he scored on a few seconds later, that's a big mistake. But, little mistakes or little misreads usually don't cost you unless you make 3 or 4 in a row. If you have players playing responsibly and covering for each other and making a responsible decision as opposed to trying to make a hope play or cheat for offense, usually going to be okay. Hey, your defenseman turned the puck over. He turned it over relatively close to his own net. You know why it didn't burn the Oilers? Because they had a forward back in the right spot to get the puck out.
Well, you know what's interesting is that this team has had a pretty good last 10 games record for a while. That's good. That means you're sustaining this confidence. You're able to put together a string of good games. I mean, are we going to get into Connor Brown?
Yes.
The other Connor? What can you say about this? I mean, 10 points in his last 10 games. He's on pace right now for half a point per game, which would be a career high for him. Is this just, we touched on it on Tuesday's show, but is this just Connor Brown's finally getting over this injury that plagued him last year?
We're bringing you the Oil Understood for GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around, from turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors. They are the critical engine component experts, proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years, now a partner of Edmonton Sports Talk and the Reid Wilkins Show, GCL Diesel. Diesel. Understood. We talked about Connor Brown on Tuesday before I directly answer your question. And I put this kind of on myself more than on you, but I'll say we, since we're both on the show. Did we talk about Connor Brown in the appropriate context on Tuesday?
Probably not.
Because we were talking about how do we fill out the top 6 to make it better.
Yeah.
To give Draisaitl maybe better wingers or move Nuge or whoever around.
That's right.
Why did we should have talked, because we're talking about Jeff Skinner. Put Jeff Skinner up there. Does Podkolzin belong there? Where should Nugent-Hopkins be playing? Well, if you look at the stats, and I know stats aren't everything, but if you're an offensive player, they are pretty important. Connor Brown is 4th on the team in even strength points. And he's 3rd on the team in even strength points for forwards. So it's Draisaitl, McDavid, Bouchard, and then Brown. Even strength points. And we talk a lot about, well, who are you playing with? Should Nuge have more? Should Podkolzin have more? What about this guy? What about this guy? Except for last game, Connor Brown hasn't played with those guys. and he's third in even strength points.
He's putting it together. Now, if this continues, this is a great problem to have.
Yes.
Because this was not the expectation leading into this season, was that you could have a guy like Connor Brown who could be a consistent top 6 player on this team. It was the Skinners of the world and Arvidsson and the trades they made in the offseason. And don't forget, I mean, this is all good problems to have. And then you add a player like Evander Kane back into the mix.
Whenever that happens.
Who's going to be a top 6 player. You're not going to place Evander Kane in the third or fourth line. So this only strengthens the team. The real weak spot right now, I mean, Arvidsson's not, lighting the world on fire. But
I think he's
played
better since he's come back from injury.
Yes, that you can say. Is he playing as good as expected? Probably not.
No.
But that may take time. A guy like Connor Brown playing the way he's playing and now contributing with and playing on the same line as Connor McDavid, that would be a treat.
So here's the thing. And here were the lines at practice today. Sorry, guys. McDavid with Nugent Hopkins and Brown. Draisaitl, Podkolzin, and Arvidsson. Again, it doesn't look like Draisaitl and Podkolzin are getting split up unless Draisaitl goes with McDavid. Janmark, Hyman, and Kapanen, Skinner, Henrique, and Perry. Looks like Stuart Skinner will be the goaltender tomorrow against the Ducks. So, you mentioned Brown's injury. And when he joined the team, the thinking was it'll take him 10 to 20 games to get back up to speed. Maybe it was 110 to 120.
Well,
he missed. So what? He got hurt in the 4th game of the season with the Capitals. So he basically missed a year with an ACL. He basically missed a year. And I know, maybe some people don't want to hear this, but because the thinking is usually, well, if you're healthy enough to play, you can play at your maximum, or you can be who you were. But maybe he still just couldn't do that. Or maybe he was thinking like, okay, can I really push it? Is something bad going to happen again? Even if it's not conscious, they're still human beings. They still went through an ordeal.
Mm-hmm.
He still missed a year of his career. Can you imagine? No, we did talk about this a little bit more, but a couple days ago, could you imagine if Connor Brown became Connor McDavid's winger a year and a half after he was supposed to do it, or a season and a half?
Well, it happened the other night, and it looked pretty darn good. It looked normal. Now, Connor Brown said, Connor McDavid opens things up quite a bit. But yeah, that's going to happen with any player. That's not a surprise. That's just the way Connor McDavid is and who the respect he demands. But you think of a guy like Connor Brown and just think of the perseverance and the resilience.
Yeah.
Because, boy, was he I don't know how to phrase it correctly, but he was blamed, trigger man number 1 for angry Oiler fan last year.
I remember
like that contract and the bonus structure, and oh boy, it was tough to be Connor Brown around Edmonton
because he's supposed to be McDavid's winger, and he was briefly, but he doesn't get any points. And then it's like, okay, he's played his 10 to 20 games. Where are the points? And then, sorry, guys. I remember from doing Overtime Open Line. Yes, there's frustration. What's with this guy? Why did we sign him? Why isn't he good anymore? All that kind of stuff. And then I do think there was a point where some sympathy set in.
Yeah, which is probably worse.
And we remember the reaction when he finally scored against the Capitals.
Yes.
Of all the weird goals, like it goes in off his skate, because there were some games where he didn't have chances, but for the most part, he wasn't even getting chances, which was concerning. Because like when Hyman wasn't scoring earlier in the season, a lot of games we were still saying like, man, he was alone in front twice. Why aren't they going in? But I do think, obviously Oilers fans are passionate. They will be critical. They want the best out of every player. But I think with Connor Brown, it reached a point before he scored last year that people were starting to feel sorry for. Because I don't think certainly he didn't feel great last year, but I don't think he was visibly moping or trying to bring the team down. But that has to be tough, Jay. And Rob Brown used to say this to me, that if you're a forward and you get those game notes and it's 12, 15, 20 games into the season, and there's a 0 in the goal column, you start to kind of like, I know no one's talking about it, but I know everybody knows. And we always say it's hard to score in the NHL. It's hard to score a goal.
Sure.
Most nights, most guys don't do it. Having said that, if you play 50, 60 games as a forward and don't have a goal, that's also pretty hard. So, it was tough watching that for him last year.
Well, and the sympathy movement, trust me, he did not like that. That's probably worse. You'd probably rather be booed than be somebody's passion project and say, shucks, I want him to score. Poor guy. Ugh. I couldn't imagine that sat well with him too. But it is a feel-good story.
Yes.
But it's an actual, literal good story for the Oilers. If this can work. Right? Now, let's bring it down a notch. Let's go to Sad Town here and talk about Jeff Skinner. Now, okay, go on.
I want to ask you. I know
Sure.
we want to talk about Skinner again, and we got some Knobloch audio, but I want to ask you something about Connor Brown.
Okay.
So hypothetically, because you've been in a dressing room.
Mm-hmm.
Now you played football at a high level, so I know it wasn't hockey. But you've got a guy, so he's brought in. Everybody's excited. He's a forward. Okay, it's not quite working out for him. Oh, it's not just 5 games. It's now 10. It's now 20. Like, I'm sure, I would think early in the season, if it's a game he had a chance or two, somebody might say, hey, you're so close, buddy. Like, keep plugging away. Like, would there not be a point as a teammate where you just stop talking about it? Like, even if he misses a breakaway, you're just like, hey, just don't say anything.
Absolutely.
Like, you just don't even say he was close. Like, just leave it. Just hope he gets
probably
one finally.
sooner than you'd think,
Right.
too. It would probably happen earlier in the process because it's like, you can't say, oh, you'll get it next time, bud, because it ain't happening. So just don't talk about it. Don't acknowledge it. It's one of these things where that is, in this case, that's professional athletes. That's a guy who's done this his whole life to get to this point. He knows. He's aware.
Yeah.
Don't talk about it.
Yeah.
Move past. I don't even want you to look at me.
Well, do you remember when he came off the ice after scoring? There's that Oilers TV or whoever had that video of him, and he actually acted as if he were throwing a monkey off his back, and he was like, okay, that monkey's gone.
Oh,
like
such relief. Such relief.
So anyway, sorry. I just wanted to
No. It's
ask that. So it is nice this year now we could actually, like, again, I do think it's worth pointing out. This is a team that has McDavid and Draisaitl. They're basically doing what we expected them to do. Draisaitl maybe even more. They brought in Arvidsson. They brought in Jeff Skinner. Nugent Hopkins, a mainstay on the team. Pod Colson's been getting to play in the top 6. Hyman had 54 goals last regular season. And Connor Brown is 3rd in even strength points. Like, that's pretty cool. I think he should be proud of that.
Well, and does this not suggest that maybe Knobloch's looking at the same stat sheets that you and I are looking at?
Well, and he you know what? I'm mad at myself for not picking it up because Knobloch praised Brown a couple times last week before the Utah game.
For 5-on-5 play?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, just for his point to him. That's why I was mad. Where I was like, why didn't I have him in the top 6 when I was doing where my line's going to be?
Well, we were blinded by the light of one Jeff Skinner.
Well, he got a lot of talk.
Yes.
We will talk about him. And I got a clip from Knobloch on Brown and also on Zach Hyman because I know some fans aren't happy with where Hyman was today at practice. We're going to get to that for buying or selling for Damon Bunting Real Estate and as part of the afternoon debate. We got the Cube with the sports update.
Canada gets face to play Czechia with the United States walking past Switzerland 7-2 earlier today. And right now, Finland leads Slovakia 3-0 early in the second, while the NHL sees Zachary LaRue of Nashville being given a 3-game suspension after he slew-footed Jared Spurgeon of the Wild. And 12 games dot the schedule today, seeing the Rangers play the Bruins and the Ducks against the Jets. Elsewhere, 6 games on the NBA slate include the Clippers tipping off with the Thunder. And down south, the Sugar Bowl has Notre Dame up 20-3 on Georgia early in the third. This sports update is brought to you by Paramount Flooring, proudly family-owned and operated for 33 years. Paramount Flooring is your full-service flooring and tile supplier. Whether you're a homeowner, renovator, or builder, Paramount Flooring provides a flooring to fit your lifestyle and budget. Visit their showroom that's open 7 days a week at 10707 184th Street. Paramount Flooring, flooring for the life that you live. We have a quick timeout before Elks O-lineman Brett Boyko joins the Reid Wilkins Show. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you in the loop.
Don't feel like working? Join the Hangout. You never know what you might hear. Weekday mornings 9 to 11 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Make a fresh start in the new year with Sentinel Storage. With convenient locations near you, Sentinel Storage is here to help you make space for everything 2024 holds. Sentinel Storage. Shop Canadian, store Canadian. Try 4 weeks free. Visit sentinelstorage.ca.
Play more tables and games.
Play more tables and games. Make the most of your bad game. Oh, you want to, you need to, you know just what you've got to do. It's time to add some fun to your life. Make the most of your fan game. Play more tables and games.
Play more games.
The Canadian Ice House is taking your sports experience to a higher level. Trackman golf simulators are now open at the Ice House, an immersive and realistic golfing experience in the heart of downtown Edmonton. Visit in-store or at thecanadianicehouse.com for details.
Gallo LLP is an Alberta-based accounting firm with expert chartered professional accountants in both our Edmonton and Sherwood Park accounting firms. Our experienced and innovative accountants provide financial advice that saves our clients money. Simply put, we help our clients protect their assets and grow their businesses. At Gallo LLP, they go beyond the numbers to ensure the continued success of your business. Reach out to Preet or John to discuss how they can help your business grow. Visit gallollp.ca today and see how they can help you take your business to the next level.
Yeah, I mean, this is a good sports week going into a good sports weekend. We got the 4 World Junior quarterfinals today, including Canada coming up in about an hour. We have Notre Dame and Georgia playing in the Sugar Bowl on the ESTV. We got the Oilers tomorrow. We got an Oilers road game on Saturday. And then, of course, the World Junior semifinals and finals will be over the weekend. Oh, final weekend of the regular season in the National Football League as well, with some playoff positioning still on the line as Georgia gets a touchdown with 9.5 left in the third quarter to get a little bit of life in that game. So a lot of fun stuff to talk about, and we're pleased to have a member of your Edmonton Elks on the show who has played in the NCAA and been around the National Football League as well. Offensive lineman Brett Boyko checking in. Brett, you're on with Jay and Reid. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm good, guys. Thanks for having me.
Well, thanks for taking the time to come on the show. Hopefully we're not pulling you away from watching anything, or you have a TV inside of your laptop there.
I left the TV, so I'm not watching currently, but now I just found out Georgia scored a touchdown there, so thanks for the update.
Well, they're still down a couple scores, so you'll have plenty of time to see the rest of the game. Hey, before we dive into some of the sports stuff, just kind of let everybody know how Christmas and New Year's is for you. As a pro athlete, do you stray from your workout routine at all and eat a little more? Or what's the last week and a half been like?
No, actually, for me, I was pretty diligent this year. I guess some years are different than others, but I got 2 kids, so this last week everyone got sick, so it's been somewhat of a little bit more of a challenge, but yeah, so this week not so great, but yeah, actually over Christmas and everything kind of stuck to it. It felt perfectly that Wednesday was Christmas, so it was like the ideal off day for me, so that worked out great. But we just hung around here. We were in Edmonton, so we just hung out here because we went back to see my family a couple weeks prior, and then actually my wife's family is currently here right now, so it all worked out great.
Brett, I wanted to ask you that, talking about off season and training, and Obviously, you were here last year. I'm not sure if you were here in Edmonton for last year's offseason, but you are here this year. With all the changes that have happened in that organization, from Chris Morris, all the way down to a brand new head coach, have you noticed changes in the locker room, in the facility, within that organization already in your time here in the offseason?
Well, I think there's just obviously a lot of excitement around, the new guys coming in, as there should be. I mean, you listen to the press conferences and you listen to these guys talk, and they're guys you'd go to war with gladly. They kind of have a way with words, and they set the tone. And we've kind of seen just being around. There's a group of us that kind of stay here and work out, which has obviously been nice. Now over Christmas, it's kind of been a little scattered with everyone going around, but we'll get back in the locker room on Monday, actually. And I know there were some changes that were happening, so I'm excited to see those. But yeah, they're definitely trying to build a culture. They want it to be, Edmonton here, Edmonton proud, and we're all about it.
Now, I noticed that because you went to UNLV, you were a running Rebel, and it said that you switched, or they transformed you into an offensive lineman when you came there. What was your specialty, or what was your position when you were at high school at St. Joseph's in Saskatoon?
Yeah, so actually I started out, kind of in the Kinsman Football League. I was playing defensive end and linebacker, and then went to high school. I played defensive end for 2 seasons, and then actually my senior season I played quarterback. And so, that was a dream come true for me. I always wanted to be a quarterback. Yeah, I always wanted to be quarterback. They were always like, you're too big, we need help on defense. And so, trying to be the good guy I always took it for the team. But then they came to me going into my senior year, and had a good year. We didn't win the whole thing, but led the league in yards and touchdowns, and we had an explosive offense, so that was a lot of fun. And then when I went down to UNLV, they were kind of like, hey, you're a big guy, you're going O-line, D-line, and they, through the recruiting process, there's a lot of conversations about if you can learn the offensive line position and where it can take you. And I just bought in and was fortunate, to still be doing it today.
I'm always interested because this question comes up. I've got children as well, and they're all in sports, and you hear the side of the story. Well, they've got to play in all these rep things, and they've got to get the eye of all the scouts and be playing at the highest level. I mean, you played at St. Joseph's. Is a football school that is a very successful football program and still continues to be. But how does a lineman, D lineman / quarterback from St. Joe's, Saskatoon, find his way to getting highly recruited and becoming dominant at UNLV in the NCAA?
It's still one of those things that was just kind of a shocker. I got back from the summer going into my grade 12 year, and I had a questionnaire recruitment letter from the University of Iowa, which for us was unheard of. I never knew anybody from Saskatoon or anything like that. And it was one of those things where I got the letter in September when I went back to pick up, or at the end of August when I went to pick up my class schedule, and it was delivered at the beginning of middle of June. So by the time the school just held it I should have been a little ticked off. I kind of am now, but by the time I kind of got my hands on it and got in contact with a lot of those guys, I mean, you guys I'm sure are familiar with it. It goes quick, college recruiting, there's guys signing scholarships, 2 summers before they're even coming out of high school. So by the time I kind of got into it, I was behind, and just worked on a highlight tape. Someone told me to do that, and then started sending it out, and then had a couple offers, went on some recruiting trips, and fell in love with UNLV, and was fortunate, met some of my best friends there, and was fortunate that we were a part of a bowl game. And, we had a good year, 1 year, and now to see what UNLV's become is just awesome.
So Brett, can you give us, and this might be a bit of a broad question, so if you want to answer big picture or maybe you have a story, but I'm just hoping for some context of the tradition, the pageantry of NCAA football. I mean, you lived it in UNLV, which is a pretty prominent sports school, but, then in football, there's all the SEC teams and the Ohio States and the Michigans and bowl games, dotting the map from coast to coast. What was it like for you being part of that landscape, for a few years of your life?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely eye-opening. I remember when I first went down, and maybe being from where I was, you know, in Canada, it was drastically different. I think now it's kind of picked up just from conversations I've had with high school coaches and stuff now. But you know, when I came up, I wasn't, you know, working out at 6 a.m. There's high schools all summer that are working out their guys at 6 a.m. They're like, it's a diligent full-time job. So when I got to UNLV, I was kind of blown away with the amount of hours that were put into it. You know, it did become a full-time job. And so I think that was kind of the culture shock at first, where it's just everything is, you know, so many programs are ran the same, right? There's, you know, from the top down, it's just, it's when you look at how good teams are built, you know, it's all the same. The formulas don't change. It's just buying in and going about business. And so I think just being a part of it and seeing what it was like, you know, like I said, we were, you know, 2-11, I think my first couple of years. Then we ended up going to a bowl game, and then obviously fell short the last year. But I think just seeing the growth and how much you have to buy in and the amount of time and effort it takes to really transform a team is huge. And so when you look at that, you know, across the college landscapes, from, like you said, the Michigans and the Ohio States and the SEC, I mean, they got fans backing and everything. It's a whole new world. College football is just its own separate entity, and you're seeing that now, right? With the transfer portal and the money, and, you know, college football is, you know, it's crazy. It's the Wild West.
Somebody wants you to be the Elks short yardage quarterback next season, by the way. We'll see if that happens. So I'm curious your opinion, because, like, I'm a Canadian guy, whatever. I'll watch these games and I'll say, oh, they should do this. From 4 teams to 12 in the playoff, most of these playoff games haven't been that close. There was an overtime game, to be fair. We'll see what happens this afternoon. Do you like this? Too many teams, not enough? Like, as a guy who was in this world, what do you think of this 12-team format now?
You know, I think I hated it at first. You know, I did, because I was just like, you know, there is a, you know, the disparity normally, right, between the top 4 teams and the, you know, 20 to 25 is normally huge. Like, it just always is. There's normally been that. But I think what changed my mind is, I guess, all the transferring and everything like that is really, like, even the playing field in a sense. So, you know, UNLV never would have had a shot ever. When I was there, before I was there, never would have had a shot at making this playoff. This year we did. You know, we were a good team. We had a good schedule, you know, and look, Boise State, you know, played Penn State tough. Now, I know the score, you know, kind of, you know, makes you think it was somewhat of a blowout, but there was a lot of opportunities for Boise State to stay in that game. You know, they had turnovers early and you know, some missed assignments here and there. So it showed that, you know, just because you're a Mountain West team, it's not like you don't belong to get this opportunity. So I think that's cool to see. Obviously, you know, you see a program like Illinois coming up and being in there now. Granted, I'm naming these teams that kind of got beat, you know, handily by the scoreboard. But, you know, I think it's cool to see these chances and see these opportunities, because that's the thing about football, is anybody can win. It's the craziest sport. You know, you can't predict anything that can happen. And so I think it's cool that these teams are getting this opportunity, and you don't have to be a Power 5 team just to secure a spot in the top 4. And like I said, you know, with even the 4 playoff, it was kind of like, where do you draw the line, right? Because there was a lot of, you know, the 5th seed could have been the national championship, you know, 2 years ago, right? So it's hard to kind of draw the line one way or another. But I think, you know, with the transfer portal and all these teams, you know, being relevant, I think, you know, it adds a little excitement to it. And I enjoy the college football playoffs, so I'm not going to say I don't.
Right.
I just got to know, because, you know, you said you were surprised, you were shocked that you know, you were getting the offers, but I got to know, because, you know, I played for the Edmonton Wildcats, I played for the Alberta Golden Bears football, and I hated going to Saskatoon because the Hilltops would kick our ass, then the Huskies would kick our ass. Now, which would have it been if Brett Boyko would have had to stay in Saskatoon? Were you going to be a Husky, or were you going to be a Hilltop?
If I was not offered to go to the States, I was going to either play basketball at the University of Saskatchewan under Barry Rawlick, or I was going to go to the University of Regina, because Brian Towers and the Huskies never even offered me a scholarship. So.
What? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's hard to believe because they had some good years in those times too. So that's a
yeah.
shocker.
No, they absolutely did. So I don't know why. It never happened. But yeah, I got a basketball scholarship to go to the U of S, and then University of Regina. I can't remember the coach. He called me. He was like, "Hey, it was later on in the process already," and he said, "You're going. I know you're going down south, but." All I can offer you is you could play both football and basketball here, and you'd be close to family. So if you want to stay, that's your choice. But we're offering you. So no, I would have been. Yeah, I would have been in U of R or Huskies basketball.
Interesting. Okay, I did not expect that answer. Thanks for being so generous with the time. I got to ask you one more, Brett, and then we'll let you get back to the Sugar Bowl. You know how much Trey Ford has been talked about in this city over the last couple of years. Ed and Chris and Mark have shown faith in him with the new deal. Just your perspective on Trey getting that contract and now maybe a different level of commitment from the Elks than maybe he got from the previous staff.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're showing that they're buying in and they're behind him. And when you're a young guy coming out, that's important, right? It's important to know that no matter what exactly happens, football is a very very difficult game. It's hard to win in football. It's a sport, like I said, you can't predict anything. A lot of things can go wrong. There's really 3 games inside a game, every game. Offense, defense, special teams, they're all their own entity. So I think it helps because no one plays a perfect game. So it helps when you're a young guy and you have that support and you have that backing and he's getting that now. Trey's a dynamic player. He's shown that. He's gotten opportunities to show that. And, I think the sky's the limit for him. I think obviously, he's young. Is there going to be growing pains? Probably. That's just football, right? There's growing pains always for everybody. Like I said, no one plays a perfect game, but I think, he knows everyone's got his back here and we're excited. And I think the fans should be excited as well.
We'll have to have you on again. I really appreciate your perspective and sharing some of your career journey, but we'll let you get back to the family. Hopefully everybody's feeling better. And you only missed one touchdown.
Yeah.
There was,
and it was my daughter's birthday yesterday, so I think that added to the sickness and the party.
Geez.
So it's everyone's good now. Now it's just recovery.
All right. Well, we'll talk to you again soon. Happy New Year. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Happy New Year. Appreciate it.
Really good stuff there. For just $59.99 every Friday from 4 to 10 p.m. We might have to go some Friday night, Milner.
Cooper saying that there's no sound.
What happened?
I have to figure this out.
We'll go to break.
If you've been injured in a car collision, let James H. Brown & Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers, protect your interests. They'll be there every step of the way to help answer your questions and help you get your life back on track. Trust Alberta's precedent-setting injury lawyers with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, call James H. Brown & Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers, 780-428-0088, or go to jameshbrown.com.
Your home for live music and great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino.
When I'm up, I can't get down, can't get down, can't get level.
Don't miss Canadian singer-songwriter Alan Doyle as he brings the East to the West, January 17th.
I said, hey, hey, it's just an ordinary day, and it's all your state of mind.
Get your tickets at River Cree Resort and Casino. River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement, bet on it.
Tommy Gunn's Barbershop is more than just a barbershop. It's a top-notch, tailor-made experience from check-in to check-out. Get a precision haircut, a classic shave, or a facial to step up your style. Just walk in, relax, and let Tommy Guns take it from there. Find comfort in knowing their team follows the code, which is their commitment to care for you as a customer. Check out Tommy Guns today, in-store or online at TommyGuns.com to bring out the best in you. Tommy Guns, where every cut is done right every time.
Fuge Sausages makes their meat with nothing but the best local ingredients. From chicken, beef, and pork, their gluten-free sausages are packed with flavor. Every single bite. Get a 10% discount when mentioning Edmonton Sports Talk in-store or use the code EST when shopping online at fugesausages.ca. Plus, you get free delivery on orders of $100 or more. Find them at 6736 99th Street. Fuge Sausages. You can't beat our meat.
World Junior quarterfinals action sees Slovakia down 3-1 halfway through the game, with Canada getting set to battle Switzerland later tonight. And in the NHL, the Red Wings play the Blue Jackets, the Senators face the Stars, and the Lightning meet the Sharks, having 12 games around the league. And down south, Notre Dame is up 20-10 against Georgia with about 3.5 minutes left in quarter three. Meanwhile, 6 games dot the NBA slate, having the Nets tip off against the Bucks and the Lakers on the court with the Trailblazers. Reid and Jay continue their show right now. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
I think we just lost a bit of sound at the end of the last segment. I guess we had some New Year's gremlins in the system.
Everybody's blaming the bots. The college football
Well, there is
bots.
a college football bot in the nasty chat, which I've never seen before. Then again, there's a lot I haven't seen.
They're the worst. When I was with the Wildcats, I was when I was the vice president of the team.
Okay,
that was part of my role, was doing all of our game day socials. So I would post scores, add to our stories, right, Twitter, everything while the game was going. And when I did it on Facebook in particular, especially if we had a game, it was Saturday during the day or Sunday during the day, we would get spammed so much by these evil bots.
Really?
College football, click here. NCAA.HD.2net.
Yeah, that's the stuff that's coming in.
Screw off. I hated those. So then you'd have to block them, and Facebook wouldn't even let you block them.
Really?
Yeah. Maybe they're supplied by Facebook. Who knows?
Oh, who knows? That's a good point. All right. 2010, Notre Dame leading Georgia. We got that on the ESTV. The Canada game starts at 5:30, so we'll have some updates on that as well. Every Thursday, we have the afternoon debate presented by the Edmonton Garrison Curling Club. If you and your team are looking for a fun and exciting way to build some chemistry, look no further than the Edmonton Garrison Memorial Curling Club. Located on CFB Edmonton, the Garrison Curling Club offers 6 sheets of ice, a full-service bar with kitchen, and includes all equipment needed for corporate bonspiels. And the Garrison Curling Club is run by Nasties. As an added bonus, they will offer 10% off ice rentals to all EST listeners. Email curling@egmgolf.com and mention EST to book your corporate bonspiel today. So as a way of getting into our afternoon debate, let's play a clip from Chris Knobloch after today's Oilers practice. Again, the lines: McDavid center, Nugent Hopkins, and Brown. Draisaitl with Podkolzin and Arvidsson. Janmark between Hyman and Kapanen. And Henrique between Skinner and Perry. And Chris Knobloch had this to say about Brown and also about Hyman.
I think there'll be a time, there's definitely going to be a time that Zach's back on the top line. I think he's a top line guy, and right now it helps our team with, spreading out the scoring. It also allows Brownie to get a reward for playing really well. So, how long that stretch is, that'll depend on how the team does. Are we winning games? Is Brownie continue to play at that level he's playing at? And Zach will be there at some point when, that's up to so many other factors.
Okay, and by the way, continue to give us the thumbs up on YouTube. We want to get to 100 because I want that secret word, and hopefully you do as well. The word of the day, I should say. So, as a way of furthering the afternoon debate, Jay, you had a text you wanted to read to the audience and to me.
This one comes in from Radley, and it just is perfect for this clip because it says, Knobloch makes a good move with Connor Brown, but then inexplicably moves Hyman to play with Janmark and Kapanen. That comes in from Radley.
Okay.
Makes a good move with Connor Brown, but then inexplicably moves Hyman to play with Janmark and Kapanen. That is the one that stands out, Reid.
Right.
On these lineups. Now, this is just a lineup.
They don't always play how they practice.
Done the old bait and switch before. But that was the one that stood out to me when you presented me with the current lineups from today's practice.
So he referenced after the New Year's Eve game, because then he changed the lines after the first period. Well, he didn't change the Draisaitl, Putt-Coles, and Arvidsson line. He changed the other three lines. Because it was McDavid, Hyman, and Brown. And then he said, you know what, Hyman's a good left winger. He's played left wing, but not for a while. So moved him off, put Nugent Hopkins back up there. So, look, to that texter, I would say this is not the end of Zach Hyman. This is not Connor Brown's being picked over Zach Hyman. This is Knobloch saying we got to. And Brown was interesting after the last game too, after the New Year's Eve game, because he said, as much as Knobloch or any Oilers coach is going to be, there's criticism for him, there's questions about him. Brown said he does things with a purpose. So when he's sitting out Jeff Skinner and bringing him back, he's doing this with a purpose. And I always say, remember, sometimes the purpose might be, even if it's not the primary purpose, is what if I got to go to this in the playoffs?
Sure.
What if there's an injury in the playoffs and these guys got to play together? At least they'll have done it for X amount of time in the regular season. But this is an interesting debate for me because I think Brown, perhaps, as I said earlier, we've not been talking about him enough as playing well and deserving a chance with McDavid. The thing for me remains, Hyman's going to be in the top 6. Maybe he even is tomorrow. This might just be a practice line. The thing for me remains, where do Nugent Hopkins and Arvidsson belong? Where do Nugent Hopkins and Putt-Coles really belong? Because again, to me, McDavid, Hyman, and Brown could be a pretty darn good line. If Hyman's still comfortable playing on his off wing from time to time, or his off shot, I guess.
It could be. So could RNH, McDavid, and Brown. As long as you have McDavid in the middle, it has the capability of being a pretty awesome line.
Sure. And Nuge had a good game.
He did. Now, it'll be interesting to see if Brown can continue this pace of play and this style of play where he's contributing night in, night out. 10 points in 10 games, right? You look at his numbers. He's got 18 points in 37 games. That's outscoring. That's outscoring quite a few players that are paid quite a bit more money than him.
Exactly.
Right? So bang for your buck. Connor Brown is the player you want to see develop into this role that could stay there. I think it's good for the team. It's a what do you call it? An embarrassment of riches?
Well, you'd hope.
Yeah. If you're an Oilers fan, a true blue Oilers fan, you are praying and hoping that this works out and it stays and it's there to stay.
Well, could you imagine if Brown stayed in the top 6 after everything he's been through?
That would be great for management. That would make a lot of things a lot easier.
Yes.
Right? Now, I don't want to keep dragging this. Okay, you go first.
No, I think I know where you're going.
I don't want to keep dragging this back to Jeff Skinner, but I must. Because there's a no-move clause, right?
Yes.
In his contract. But I don't know how this ends up with him staying on this team past the trade deadline.
Well, okay.
So who you tell me through walk me through this. Does he have to say to the team, "Okay, I'll remove my condition of a no move clause"? Is that is that his decision and his decision solely, or does the team have to say, "Yes, we agree with that too"? Or how does that work?
I think it would depend. Here's the thing for me. Because I know I see in the nasty chat and we get texts and people. Well, they got to trade Jeff Skinner. They got to ask him to take off the no move. That actually doesn't happen that often.
Sure.
I mean, I know. I guess Luch was traded with one, and I think Neil might have waived his from Calgary. But generally, and you have to remember the PA doesn't want its members signing contracts and then just changing things on the fly. If they're, I'm not saying that something bad would happen to him, but I think contracts are signed to be honored. So I don't really talk about Skinner not being on the team. I prefer to talk about how he will fit in on the team and how he will be treated and how he will play. So I don't, if it happens, it happens, but just if people are wondering why I don't respond to their comments about trade Skinner, get him to waive, because I don't view it as a realistic thing.
Okay.
I view it as so far down on the list of possibilities that I don't even think it's worth talking about.
But then he's got to fit in on the top
then he
6.
has to fit in. So here's how Chris Knobloch answered my question Tuesday night. How do you feel Jeff Skinner played tonight?
Jeff played really well tonight. I really liked his game. Plays like that, deserves more opportunities. Right now, I've got a bunch of guys I think deserve more opportunities, but he's got to stick with that. I think he played dug in, won a lot of battles, had some shots on net. I thought that was a really good game from him.
To quote Connor McDavid, dig in.
Well, not directly. There was some other words.
There were other words in there.
Included in that.
All right. So he sits him out, public shaming, as you put it. He does not come back with prominent offensive players. I think he played just under 11 minutes. I didn't bring my sheet, but I think it was 10, might have been 10:53, maybe it was 10:35. And did okay. On a night in which the team as a whole played pretty well. But I think Knobloch using that phrase like dig in, I think that's a key thing to remember when it comes to Jeff Skinner. I mean, a lot's been made, and Speck wrote the article a couple days ago. Well, was all these teams Skinner played on that didn't make the playoffs? It was always like, oh, well, that's everybody else's fault.
Right.
And he kind of raised the point. Maybe that was one of the best players' fault that this team wasn't going to the playoffs. So I think now Skinner today was with Henrique and Perry. Again, we'll see what lines are. And maybe Knobloch is going to continue to treat Skinner that way, saying, okay, you know what? Like, I can't put you in the top 6 right now because you're not as productive as Connor Brown, and you're not one of our stars. And Leon Draisaitl's not going to bat for you like he's going with Bud Colson. But Dan Campbell, and I know Dan Campbell's not the first person to say this, but I saw the interview with Dan Campbell that he did at halftime of Monday Night Football. And he said, we have to continue to be good at the things that don't require skill. So does that really sum up what Jeff Skinner is being asked for? Jeff, we know you can stick handle 20 times. We know you've scored this many goals in the past. This team wants to win a Stanley Cup. You have to be good at the things that don't require skill. You have to dig in. You have to worry about body position. You have to be in front of the net. You have to back check. Now, and I know with Bud Colson, I've often said I don't know why he's in the top 6. Well, I know why. I'm saying I wouldn't do it. Tom certainly says that. But 2 things from Tuesday's game. The Ekholm goal, who was in front of the net and kicked the puck back to Ekholm, Bud Colson. And then I referenced the Emberson play earlier. Defenseman loses the puck close to his own net. Bud Colson's there and clears the puck. And he's good along the wall and stuff like that. Now, I know Skinner doesn't have that size as Bud Colson, but I think that's what he's being asked to do. I think that's what Knobloch is saying. And I think, to get back to what Connor Brown said, Connor Brown feels Chris Knobloch is a coach who does things with a purpose. Okay? So the ultimate purpose of a head coach is to win the Stanley Cup. The Oilers can't do that today, but they can maybe establish some habits or help a player like Jeff Skinner get to the standard that most of them played with in the postseason. And that was, you do the little things well. You think about your teammates first. You think about your own net first before you think about the other net. So I understand why fans are frustrated and they say bench him, get him off the team. But that's not Knobloch's job. And I know people say, well, in that video in the summer, it looked like he favored somebody else or whatever. But Knobloch is a professional coach. It's not his job to just crap on a guy and belittle him and make him feel bad. Well, I'm sure he made him feel bad by scratching him, but again, that had a purpose. So I'm just trying to say those are the terms I'm thinking of. It's not Knobloch's job to throw Skinner on the scrap heap or give up on him. It's his job to continue to find ways and to use language and try to get him to create the habits that could help this team down the road.
So you're saying that the goal here is to change him into a defensive-minded player.
I think it's the goal to change him into a
maybe not minded,
more thorough player,
but less of a liability.
Just a more thorough player.
Well, I mean, hey, if you can do that, if Knobloch can do that and get this game or style of play out of Jeff Skinner, then of course that's a win-win.
Right.
That's never been part of the process or thought process, though. Specifically from fans that have wanted and craved and desired this goal-scoring version of Jeff Skinner. That simply hasn't happened.
Right.
And then you ask, Reid, suggest, well, if he ain't scoring goals, what is he doing?
And I think that's what Knobloch is saying. I got to help you become somebody else that impacts the game when you don't score.
Now that you know that Knobloch is playing chess while everybody else is playing checkers, are you going to now take this into your approach when asking him questions and trying to, because he duped you on the one there.
Who?
Knobloch. How you were surprised and you should have known that Connor Brown was the guy.
Okay.
Are you going to now, try and is this a war, a mind war?
No, I'm not in a mind war with the coach of the Edmonton Oilers.
Are you going to start wearing your Zoltar hat to the press conferences?
I'm sure that would go over very well. Yes, I'm sure that would be well received.
I don't think you'd get into the stadium or arena.
What does my Zoltar hat look like? Is it a purple hat with
it's like
yellow
purple
moons and stars?
Yeah,
it's purple tinfoil.
Yeah, it screams.
Anyway, so I'm just saying, I get the frustration with Jeff Skinner. I get why. I mean, hey, every Oilers fan would love to coach the team and tell Knobloch the line combinations. But I'm just saying, he's given Brown a chance, and I think as a coach, you can't ignore what's in front of you.
Sure.
Connor Brown's getting even strength points at a better rate than anybody except McDavid or Draisaitl. He deserves to be in the top 6. And then I think he also has to say, okay, Jeff Skinner, I sat you out, and I thought you played well. So I have to say that. And I think Knobloch, I think coaches have to be conscious of what they say publicly too, and the tone they set about their players. So anyway, just some thoughts for the afternoon debate for the Edmonton Garrison Curling Club.
It does provide some clarity as to what to do with because this is now a situation. Would you not say the Jeff Skinner situation?
Yes.
So at least if you feel like that's the direction this is heading, at least there's a direction, right? At least there's something.
And we have to remember, too, if we want to look at stats, I mean, he was, I don't know what it is now, he was minus 11. He wasn't the only minus player of the team, but he was 5 minuses worse than anybody else.
Yes. Must be discussed.
So that had to be discussed, and I think acknowledged by the coach. And I think that's what they're trying to say. You got to dig in. You can't you can't cheat for offense. You can't, only worry about one end of the rink.
Fair point. I like it. Dave says, I agree, Reid. If anything, be mad at management for giving Skinner a no-move clause to begin with. I'm sure he meant.
Yeah. I understand that, too. I guess I always try to see things from both sides of it. I mean, I guess if you're the player and the agent, and Skinner's been around since, 2010?
Yeah.
And he does have the pedigree of having a lot of goals. We should look up how many goals he scored in that time frame compared to the rest of his draft class. I could do that quite easily.
But you want the security.
So if Skinner's saying, okay, I'm taking a 1-year deal, I want to be here for the year. I think this team can win the Stanley Cup. I want to be here in the playoffs. I don't want to be a piece at the deadline. So again, I get the criticism. So from his draft class, 2010, Jeff Skinner has scored the most goals.
Yeah.
So I mean, you have to remember that too. He has 363. Tyler Seguin, 360. Tarasenko, 297. Brock Nelson, 285. Tyler Toffoli, and which former Oiler at 274 from 2010?
Got me.
Okay, same class as Seguin. Taylor Hall,
yeah.
So that's like, he's an interesting player to talk about because you can crap on him all you want, and I guess I kind of have been in some ways. He has the most goals from his draft class. That's not a small accomplishment.
No, but he's not he's not scoring them right now.
He's not scoring them right now, and he's not doing other things. And he's played the most games from that draft class. That's also an accomplishment. Only him and Cam Fowler are over 1,000. Anyway, it's interesting to discuss, but he was part of a good team effort by the Oilers a couple of days ago. It's 5 o'clock. We had to take a quick timeout. Reid Wilkins Show with Jason Milne.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
You've always known GCL Diesel as the experts in diesel fuel systems. But did you know that GCL is also your source for turbochargers and turbo repair? As a turbo supplier for Garrett, Borg Warner, and Holset, GCL can provide genuine original equipment turbos at wholesale prices. Whether it's diesel, gas, natural gas, or performance, we can provide you with the turbo or custom repair you require. Turbo questions? We've got turbo answers. Visit us in the West End or online at GCLDiesel.com. GCL Diesel, turbochargers, understood.
You want the heavy hitters on your team, both on and off the ice. If you've been injured in a car accident, call the heavy hitters of injury law. James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers. With over 200 years of combined injury law experience, their precedent-setting lawyers are ready to help. Locally owned and proud Edmonton Oilers fans, James H. Brown and Associates wants to support you with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, head to JamesHBrown.com.
Get to know the winners, props, plays, parlays, and more with Nielsen and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11 on The Lock Shop. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
World Junior quarterfinal action sees Canada taking on Czechia and Finland throwing it down against Slovakia with the Finns up 4-1 nearing the end of 40. In 4 games get underway in just a moment with the Wild and Caps going at it, seeing Minnesota captain Jared Spurgeon out week to week with a lower body injury. Plus, the Rangers face the Bruins, Red Wings battle the Blue Jackets, and Hurricanes meet the Panthers. On the court, the Pacers play the Heat, and the Nets tip off with the Bucks, seeing 6 games in the association. And in the Sugar Bowl, Notre Dame leads Georgia 23-10 in the fourth quarter. The Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne continues right now. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
Hey, Coop, how are you? All right, buddy. Did you hear this? I said, hey, Coop, how are you? And my phone then goes, I'm good, thanks for asking. Because I have one of those phones where I can say, hey, Google, who is Jason Milne?
These pictures should match.
It brings up pictures of Jason Milne. Well, actually, one of them is from you. One of them is a guy apparently doing yoga in the desert. And then there's a guy who might be like a doctor or something.
No, they must have got. I don't know how they got those pictures of me doing yoga in the desert.
Yeah, you look quite.
I'm embarrassed.
You look quite comfortable. Good for you.
I'm so embarrassed.
Portions of this hour presented by the Canadian Brewhouse. NHL lives at the Canadian Brewhouse. Every Oilers game day, get $1 off tankards of Molson Canadian and Coors Light. You can win game tickets and 2 tickets to a surf and turf dinner at the end of the season. Full details at thecanadianbrewhouse.com. If you're in the Nasty Chat on YouTube, continue to give us a thumbs up. Get in touch with a couple people in your life. Say, hey, this show is pretty fun. Subscribe to the channel. Get them to give thumbs up as well. We want to get to 100, and I want to get the word of the day from Jay. So what was there was a pass interference here?
Yeah, there was a pass interference. Took them. They're now on the 9-yard line. 14-yard line is Georgia. And I must say, this quarterback is kind of Jekyll and hiding this game.
Right.
There's times he looks great. There's times he looks like he doesn't know where he is. So
he doesn't know where he is.
But
who am I throwing to?
It's a Kirby Smart-led team. I don't think this game is over, although it is 23-10 in the fourth quarter.
And pass interference in the NCAA is 15 yards.
That's correct.
And if it's in the end zone, you get it on the 2, not the 1.
Yes.
What's it in U Sports?
15.
It's 15?
Yeah, it's not.
So if you're beaten deep, just tackle the guy.
Yes. Hell yeah.
Did you ever do that?
No, but we were instructed to. Like you know what a stop and go is?
Yes.
Right. If you get beat on the stop and go,
grab his waist,
tackle him.
Right.
Literally, it's a 15-yard penalty as opposed to a touchdown, especially if you're in their zone. You know, you're trying to pin them deep, and they're just trying to get out of it. Tackle them.
All right. The EST inbox is now presented, and we're very glad that it is, by River Cree Resort and Casino, home of the Kitchen Restaurant, all-you-can-eat prime rib buffet for just $49.99 every Sunday. That's from 4 until 10. 780-218-9999 is the EST inbox. Do you have anything you want to do there or save for later?
Yeah,
you want to do a couple
we
now?
can touch on? Sure. Enjoying Connor Brown having some success. Works hard. Never pouted last year when he couldn't score. That comes in from Ian. That's fair. He does seem to be an optimistic young fella.
Now, there was also a point, too, as a member of the media last year, too, where you stop requesting Connor Brown. I mean, there's a point where it's like, hey, Connor, 2 weeks ago you were at 32 games without a goal. Now it's 40. How are you? Like, there's a point where we're like, what are you going to say?
Yeah. So, how do you like the weather in Edmonton, Connor?
Yeah.
Well, like I said, that he has been, whether he likes it or not, he has been taught a great deal of resilience.
I would think, I'm sure he didn't feel good. Well, I know you wouldn't feel good. Like I said, if you're a forward with 0 goals, even if you don't play a lot, that's not a good feeling. But yeah, I don't remember watching him last year and thinking, oh, he's not trying or he's giving up or look at the crappy body language or he's dragging other people down. No, I never sensed that at all.
But do you think there's a player? Let me ask you this: is there a player on the Oilers other than Connor Brown that Oilers fans would love nothing more than to see become something greater than what he has shown to be? Like,
after last year, no, probably not.
It'd be hard to, right? I mean, we were talking about Ekholm in the bullpen today, just about how liked he is.
Yes.
But he's a badass defenseman. He's pretty darn good at his job. So there's that reason. But Connor Brown, yes, that would be nice for him to change things up. This comes in from Reclining Dan, and you'll know why. It says, been on the couch all day watching World Juniors and football. I have found changing positions every 32 and a half minutes is the best way to keep circulation going. Not bad.
How long?
All day.
No, but how often do you have to move?
32 and a half. I wonder how he came up with the 32.5 minutes.
Well, if he's been watching hockey, because 10 a.m. Mountain was the first game, right?
Yeah.
And it's now... So
now
if he's
5.
hypothetically been on the couch 7 hours... So I guess he's had enough time to figure out if I change positions every 32 and a half minutes, I'm still alive.
That's impressive. That is
still
a feat.
has mobility.
Yeah, I'm very proud of you for doing that, Dan. I'm also concerned. Maybe get up.
Well, I know he does this every day of the year. It's a special day. Quadruple header of hockey, bowl game. There'll be NHL and NBA to watch tonight if he wants. Well, the Canada game's going to go until 8 something.
Yeah. Wondering how much of an interest Jay is taking in who the next coach of the Golden Bears football team will be. This comes in from Anonymous Al.
Oh, yeah. They don't have a coach yet, do they?
No. And that's a damn shame. and they should be embarrassed. This coach should have been locked and loaded well before Christmas. I know I talked to somebody that's very close to the team. They have lost recruits. They have lost several recruits due to, and I mean, some of this is going to be okay from a guy like Chris Morris leaving.
Right.
But they've had recruits walk away within the last 2 weeks because there's nobody. Who's the head coach?
Right. And then what's the staff?
What's the staff? What's everything?
Right.
I mean, you're going to commit. There's no nil. There's no portal in CIS or U Sports football. You're going to commit 4 years to this program, and they can't even get it together enough to put to name a coach.
Well, they must be close.
I've heard February.
What?
Well, Reid, this is one thing you need to understand.
Chris left when? Late mid-November? Well, yeah, because it was before the Grey Cup. He was before the Grey Cup.
Yeah.
He would have been before the Vanya even. Wasn't he like 3 days after their season ended?
Yes.
It was pretty quick.
It was very quick.
Okay. Well, you would think people will want the job.
Well, there's a short list. There are people that are shortlisted. And it's just, you know what? This is just, unfortunately, the way things move around there sometimes. Whoever comes in, this is going to be a tough job.
Yes.
What Chris did there, he did the work of 4 people on his own.
Right.
If not more. So there's that. So yeah, I am following it. I'm just embarrassed for the team, for the for those kids that are going, in their 4th, 5th years. That sucks. You're kind of being hung out to dry there.
Right.
I would have liked to seen this coach named and in place by now.
We're the James H. Brown Studio. James H. Brown Personal Injury Law Firm, the heavy hitters of injury law with over 200 years of experience. James H. Brown will get you the settlement you deserve. Check him out, jameshbrown.com. Book your private consultation today. Well, whenever they hire that coach, he'll be on the show.
He will. He's going to have his hands full. But obviously, I mean, I'm an alum. I want nothing but the success of the program.
Well, you care, which is important.
I think that the school side, the University of Alberta is getting in the way with this right now.
Like non-athletic people, do you think?
The people in charge of athletics should have had this done already.
Okay, within the athletic department.
Yes.
Another thing we don't, unrelated, I thought we were going to have a CFL schedule before Christmas. It's usually been out in December the last few years.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to that. Is it because they don't have a commish?
Well, he's the commish until there's a new commish.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, Ambrosie's like, I'll give it to you when I leave, everybody.
Maybe he's mailing it in.
He's like showing a little slip of paper. What do you think this is, guys? The schedule I'm not showing.
People have been known to mail it in, last week of the job. Sure. I'll leave it on my desk. Yeah. Yeah, I'm surprised too. I was really looking forward to that.
We are going to get you our game of the night, presented by the wonderful people at Playmore Tables and Games. They've
changed Reid's life.
They have changed my life. The classic arcade machine here at EST. I had an all-time run at track and field earlier today. From ping pong and pool tables to darts and dome hockey, plus all the classic arcade action you could ask for, visit Canada's Game Room experts. Locations in Edmonton and Calgary are online at playmoregames.ca. The game of the afternoon, by the way, is the Sugar Bowl. Jasmine wants to know how to watch it. She can't find it.
What's that?
She says, I can't. I won't use the word she says. I can't blanking the NCAA game. TSN has the juniors. I can't blank and find the NCAA game. It's on another TSN.
It's on TSN 2.
It's on TSN 2. Just change it to a different TSN, Jasmine.
Some discussion going on, given now that it's the River Cree inbox. Can you reach out to see if the Enoch Golf Course will ever reopen?
Wasn't it called Ironhead at some point?
Indian
Is that
Lakes.
the same one? But I thought before that, it was called Ironhead.
Oh, I don't know. I only knew it as Indian Lakes, but
it's been closed for a while, hasn't it?
It has been, yeah. And
well, they really think we could find out everything. Thanks for having that faith in us.
You know what? That was a phenomenal golf course. I really liked that golf course.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I heard a rumor that they had to shut it down because there were potential harmful, like it was like a bomb testing place way back in the day.
Back in the day?
And
Really?
there might be, I'm not even kidding.
I did not hear that.
Yeah.
So there might be harmful fragments?
When I had the furniture store, we dealt with the Enoch First Nation a lot. They did, they had people transitioning out of the community or from out of province to the community, and they had a housing agreement for them, and they had funds set aside from the casino that they would use to help these people, carry on with their lives.
Okay.
So we were their furniture store that they used. So I got to know quite a few people from there, and that's what the one lady said. So I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I heard.
But when was the last time it was open? I don't even know. Somebody just randomly thought of that to ask us that on January 2nd.
Yeah, I'll make sure to put that in
Make
the
a note.
the
We can
next
try to
email.
find out. Maybe Murray would know, just from being in the golf community. Or maybe they're
Probably.
trolling us, and it's some we're saying some weird phrase like we were saying Henway that one day.
Maybe this is Henway 2.0.
It could be. Mike says Ironhead was by Wabaman.
Oh yeah, that's on the south
So
tip
I'm thinking of a different one?
east tip of Wabaman by the That's right. That another beautiful course too.
But I think Ironhead doesn't exist either. I think it is shut down though. All right. Mike, the Michigan says rumors are they may rebuild Indian Lakes. They're apparently getting top golf at the casino as well. All right.
That they are not. That was a rumor.
That's a false rumor, you think?
Yeah.
Okay. What were we doing? Or game of the night? Well, mine's got to be the World Junior game, just because the Oilers aren't playing. It is a quarterfinal. Finland's leading Slovakia 4-1 in the third. So yeah, Canada, Czechia. I've seen people put into the net criticism of Dave Cameron as the coach of the team. It feels like an underwhelming performance by the Canadian juniors so far. Third in the pool, shootout loss to Latvia. But then Herndon made a good point. They haven't allowed a 5-on-5 goal against, which is pretty cool. But I'm going to go with the obvious one, just the storylines, everything going on at the World Juniors. It's in Ottawa, it's in Canada, all that kind of stuff. That's my game of the night.
Yeah, that's the game of the night for sure. There's no question. But if you are a football fan like I am as well, the Gator Bowl's on tonight.
Well, there's still another bowl today. It's just not part of the playoffs.
6 p.m. Duke versus Ole Miss.
Oh, wow.
In the Gator Bowl. The Tax Slayer Gator Bowl.
That's the sponsor?
Yeah. They're going to slay some taxes. I wonder how they're going to celebrate tonight. Maybe they're going
to shred their tax report.
Maybe they'll have like a bunch of red tape that they cut. And then dollar bills will fall from the sky.
We're gonna cut some red tape to celebrate. So who's the favorite? Do we know?
Duke. No, sorry, Ole Miss. Ole Miss is a ranked team. Duke is not.
Well, Duke I always associate with basketball.
As you should.
And Coach Mike Krzyzewski. All right. So that's the game of the night presented by Playmore Games. We're still going to get to my top three. You can text the River Cree inbox, 780-218-9999. Don't delay our pleasure any longer. Hit the thumbs up on YouTube so we can get to the word of the day. Here comes Zachary Kubish. Sports Update.
World Juniors quarterfinal action sees Canada getting set to face Czechia while Finland leads Slovakia 4-1 early in the final frame. And in the NHL, the Hurricanes are up 1-0 over the Panthers, and the Blue Jackets have the only goal in their game against the Red Wings just about 5 minutes in to those games. And we also have the Bruins Rangers and the Wild meeting the Caps with no goals in those matchups. And Minnesota captain Jared Spurgeon is out week to week. Elsewhere, 6 games dot the NBA slate, including the Clippers tipping off with the Thunder, while down south, the Sugar Bowl sees Georgia down 23-10 against Notre Dame halfway through the fourth. The Reid Wilkins Show returns on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you in the loop.
Wake up with the Nielsen Show with Dustin Nielsen and Lieutenant Eric. Weekday mornings 6 to 9 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Make a fresh start in the new year with Sentinel Storage. With convenient locations near you, Sentinel Storage is here to help you make space for everything 2024 holds. Sentinel Storage. Shop Canadian, store Canadian. Try 4 weeks free. Visit sentinelstorage.ca.
Edmonton Sports Talk delivers a mass audience of key, influential customers to your business, all while you associate your company brand with the biggest names, the hottest sports news, and teams from every league around the globe. Oilers and Elks, NHL, NFL, Major League Baseball, and the association, Formula One, soccer, golf. Oh, sweet mama! The excitement is palatable on Edmonton Sports Talk. It's where fans go to get their sports fix and where our partners find the most loyal consumers. Contact us today and see how our team on Edmonton Sports Talk can score the biggest goals for your business. With various advertising options available, email business@edmontonsportstalk.com or head to our website and send a message at edmontonsportstalk.com.
Book your holiday party at the CBH today. The Canadian Brewhouse is your ultimate destination for events, parties, fundraisers, and more. 'Tis the season to celebrate. Visit and book now in-store or at thecanadianbrewhouse.com.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered, from rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
All right, hope you're having a great afternoon.
Happy New Year, by the way.
Happy New Year.
Continue to get that thumbs up button going on YouTube, please. We want to get as high as possible. We want to get over 100. Jay has a word of the day ready to bring me. And, welcome aboard to the River Cree, presenting our afternoon inbox. River Cree Resort and Casino, featuring Italia Restaurant, home of the $6.99 brunch special from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Sundays. That number, of course, 780-218-9999. So people were, the question was about Indian Lakes Golf Course and Ironhead. So that was closer to Wabamun. I should have known that. I didn't remember properly.
Both are fantastic courses.
I don't think I ever played Indian Lakes. I played Ironhead probably in high school. Or maybe in my early 20s.
Norman Combine says,
good guy.
Ironhead was at Wabamun.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, yes, it is true. I assume he's responding about the bombs or...
Oh, that it was some sort of a
weaponry testing facility?
Right.
He played Ironhead years ago. Indian Lakes was legit, way before Calahoo had a course. Whose name...
What?
Your name comes up with this, Norman at Combine. He asked, whose name comes up with this? So in the River Cree inbox, when you text into the show and you've texted before, we have your name on there. You know, we've had to ask you for it.
You got to put in a handle.
Yeah, we put in a handle.
Right. All right. So the Oilers practice today. Again, we were talking about that. Brown up there with McDavid and Nugent-Hopkins. Draisaitl, Podkolzin, and Arvidsson. Janmark, Hyman, and Kapanen. I know some people don't like that, but we'll see what happens. And Jeff Skinner with Henrique and Perry. D pairings, Ekholm, Bouchard, Nurse, Stetcher, Kulak, Emerson. And Nurse and Kulak play together quite a bit as well. Stuart Skinner, the expected starter tomorrow. So it's a 7 p.m. game against Anaheim. And then they go on a road trip starting in Seattle on Saturday. So tomorrow we have the Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Millen from 3 to 6. Tom and Hernan with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 6 o'clock tomorrow night. So I'll boot it over to the rink and take that one in.
Don't boot it. Just maybe drive.
I'll hitchhike.
I would drive you, Reid.
You going to come to a game soon?
Yeah, sure.
Come up on the media level?
I don't know if they can
see my
handle
soft lifestyle.
Oh, I've seen where you sit. We waved at each other.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You were at the Boston game waving to me.
Yeah.
Did you actually see me up there?
Yes, I
You
could
couldn't
actually
make out
see.
that it was me, though.
I could make you out by your posture.
By posture.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't know
not-
what that means.
not
That I
hard.
slouch a lot?
No, you just have a look.
I have a look.
Yes, you have a look about you. Everybody does.
I have a comportment.
I have a gait.
True.
My wife says my oldest daughter has the same gait as me.
Yeah, that makes sense. I kind of walk and stand like my dad.
I walk. I've noted this, or no, now I know this, is that I walk quite fast. If I'm going somewhere, I'm getting there.
Yeah, you're a focused man.
Thank you.
You don't like to wait around.
Do you?
Portions of this hour are presented by the Canadian Brewhouse, the Canadian Ice House, taking your sports experience to a higher level of ultra cool. TrackMan golf simulators are now open at the Ice House, an immersive, realistic golfing experience in the heart of downtown Edmonton. Visit thecanadianicehouse.com. All right, what do you want to do? Do you want to do the top three, or do you want to do buying or selling?
I want to find out where Norman Wells Northwest Territories is. Because afternoon nasties from Norman Wells Northwest
We got a
Territories.
listener from Norman Wells. I don't know exactly where it is.
You're about to find out.
Okay. Jay's Googling it.
Holy smokes. Wow.
Where is it?
Okay. Wow. I don't know how many hours that would be northwest of Yellowknife, but it's up closer to Great Bear Lake.
Okay.
This is where it is here, Reid.
All right.
And for reference, this is where Yellowknife is.
Oh, wow. Okay. So what is our nasty doing in Norman Wells?
Yeah. Explain. Tell us more, Mop.
It's probably MOP. Maybe it's Michael Riley.
Most outstanding player. Huh. Cool. I don't know. What do you want to do? Buying or selling of Reid's top three? It's up to you.
It's worked a lot out there, good and dark this time of year, LOL. I guess it would be a little further north.
There be mines up there? I think there's a lot of
It's
diamond
got to be
mines
some
up
sort
there.
of mining or natural resource excavation. Is that even the right word?
I believe. Yeah, right on the Mackenzie River. Whew.
What's the temperature in Norman Wells? Do we know?
About to find out.
Look it up. All about Norman Wells today on the Reid Wilkins Show with Jason Milne. Notre Dame up 23-10, 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Can we switch to when you're... Well, no, we don't have to switch to hockey quite yet, I guess.
Currently, it's mostly cloudy, minus 33 degrees, with a wind of 8 kilometers an hour.
Minus what?
33.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
And wind and a little windy?
And some windshield. Yes.
Some windshield.
Yes.
As Jay Milne used to think it was pronounced.
The 7-day outlook is minus 31, minus 34, minus 39, minus 33, minus 28, and then it warms up Tuesday to minus 21.
Wow. Well, here it's warming up on Sunday, I think, finally. It's not great today. Let's do my top three. It's going to be a fun one today. For food sausages, the best sausages you will ever eat. Locally made, packed full of flavor. Order online or visit them in store, 6736 99th Street. Take advantage of their EST discount. That's right, 10% off your order by entering the online code EST or just mention Edmonton Sports Talk in store. As Food Sausage says, you can't beat our meat. I want to do a fun one today. Well, we often try to make it a fun one. It is my top 3 movies I'm looking forward to in 2025.
Yes. This I am here
So I've
for.
seen some ads for these already, and then I kind of, there's a page where you can look up and it says all the movies coming out this year and the release date, or at least the ones that they know about. So there's the top 3 movies I'm looking forward to in 2025, and please feel free to share yours as well. I'm going to go by the order in which they will be released, all right? And my first one is coming out January 17th, and I really want to see this because... I like this style of character. It's called Wolfman. It's another Wolfman movie. It's directed by one of the guys who did some of the Saw movies, Lee Wannell. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. And it's a werewolf movie. So I'm absolutely looking forward to Wolfman.
Wolfman 2025. A family at a remote farmhouse is attacked by an unseen animal.
Yeah, see?
But as the night stretches on, the father begins to transform into something unrecognizable.
Yeah. See, it's good.
Oof.
It's creepy.
Thriller.
Yeah, it's going to be good. Anything with werewolves. Though there was a movie that just came out recently, I think simply called Werewolves, and I haven't seen it and didn't get good reviews. So I don't know if I'll watch that one.
Like, this is not like an independent. This is an actual something or other.
Yeah, it's a real movie. It's not an actual wolf man. It's not a documentary. Is that what you meant?
Yeah, well, no. I mean, this is going to be in major. This is going to be in Cineplex Odeon.
Yes, or Landmark Cinemas or wherever.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I'm watching the trailer right now. They are getting.
Yeah, it's creepy.
Ha. Okay, that was a good one.
James P. Haven't been here for a few days. Is Dusty eating some pickled herring? I think we'll find out Monday when he's back. We were talking about that a few days ago, James. We're going to find out hopefully soon. Give us a thumbs up if you've just jumped into the Nasty Chat on YouTube as well. All right, the second movie I'm looking forward to in 2025, I got to go with this one because I think overall it's been a pretty well-done franchise, action-packed franchise. May 23rd, it's coming out. Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning.
Whoa.
They've been fun movies. Like, some are better than others. I don't think there's really a dud in there. I think you got to hand it to Cruise. He does all his own stunts. He's been a big part of this franchise and keeping it going. The previous movie, what was it called? Dead Reckoning? I thought was pretty good. It was probably a third longer than it needed to be. But they did enough to set up this one called The Final Reckoning. I'm sure it'll have a lot of thrills and spills, so I'm going to go with that one.
Interesting. The Final Reckoning. I think it's one too many reckonings all in all.
How many reckonings do you need?
I think they were best served with the first one, but let's see. Nope.
What are you checking for?
I'm just looking
Spoilers?
for a synopsis.
What happens in Final Reckoning?
No, just a synopsis.
You got to watch it to find out.
Well, okay, I'll give you a synopsis. Tom Cruise gets into a sticky situation and has to save the world.
It seems impossible.
With the help of an attractive lady who ends up saving him.
I think Haley Atwell is now in it.
While he saves himself and ultimately saves her and the world.
Because Rebecca Ferguson's character got killed off in the last one, did she not? Oh, I'm sorry, everybody.
Oh,
if you
Reid.
haven't seen Dead Reckoning.
Oh, no. I
think Haley Atwell is now in it. I think she's in this one. Well, I think she was in the last one, too. All right. And then the third film I'm looking forward to, it is a comic book movie. It's not a Marvel movie. But the director of this makes it totally worthwhile for me because James Gunn is directing this film. He did Guardians of the Galaxy. He's done DC stuff because he did the Peacemaker series, which was awesome. And he did the second Suicide Squad movie, which was hilarious. But James Gunn is bringing us Superman on July 11th. You may have seen the trailers for it. It has a dog with a cape. Apparently, there's a super dog in it.
Yeah.
And it has a bunch of his allies and villains. Nicholas Hoult is playing Lex Luthor.
Of course.
In it. So I will put Superman July 11th as the third film I'm looking forward to in 2025.
Okay, well, that's cool. I like it. I like where your head's at. I like your choices. Wolfman. That would be maybe the one that would get me, the most. But here's my realistic top 3 movies that I'm going to have to watch.
That you will be forced to watch,
Forced
you mean?
to watch in 2025.
Compelled, strongly compelled.
Compelled. Okay. One will be Zootopia 2. Following up, actually, maybe when it comes out.
Well, the first Zootopia wasn't that the one where they're cops or something?
Yeah, I like Zootopia.
Yeah, it was good.
Maybe I wonder if my friend was on the animation staff for this one.
Oh, right.
Huh. Maybe we can have him on. Talk Zootopia.
Yeah, why not?
Why not? What else was there? Oh, yes. How could I forget? Minecraft, the movie's coming out.
Well, how's that going to work?
And The Bad Guys 2. The Bad Guys 2. The Bad Guys 1 is a great movie.
What's
Animated.
Is it animated?
Oh,
what
yeah.
do they do? What are they so bad?
Reid, they're bad guys.
They're just bad.
I don't want to spoil it like you did. But they're bad guys. Now they're back, and they're no longer bad guys, but they become forced to be bad guys. And Happy Gilmore 2, I'm so terrified of this.
Oh, yeah, they are making another Happy Gilmore.
Yeah, I wish they didn't. I wish they just left it alone. These
Is
money
this
hungry.
30 years after the fact? After
Ugh.
the first one?
It just.
So who will they have instead of Bob Barker? Drew Carey?
Wouldn't that be something?
Pat Sajak?
I don't know. I'm ticked off that
Jeff
they're
Probst?
that they're doing it. Yeah, Jeff Probst. I don't know.
I forgot there was another Happy Gilmore. Was his love interest in the first Happy Gilmore, was that the woman from Modern Family? I should know her real name, but I don't. Is that the actress? The one that was in the mom from Modern Family?
Which one?
His love interest in Happy Gilmore.
In the original,
right.
yeah.
She looks younger in Modern Family than she did in Happy Gilmore.
I think she does. She met him on the 9th green.
Is that what it was?
Remember when he got soaked?
I do not remember. This is the thing. I've seen these movies, but I just don't remember stuff as well anymore.
Yeah.
Though earlier today, I was remembering Kathy Ireland being a kicker in Necessary Roughness, not the Replacements.
And I remember Joanne Ireland, esteemed writer
Sports
for the
writer.
Edmonton
Yeah,
Journal.
she's excellent.
Yeah. It's funny where your minds go.
All right. So we've decided you think you could make a 40-yard field goal?
Yep. Confident.
I think it can make a 20-yarder.
No, not in snowy conditions.
No, when we'd put on sweatpants and running shoes, we wouldn't go out in our jeans and what we're wearing now.
Wouldn't matter.
You think you could just hammer it through?
Sure. I'm confident, though. You just have to deal with it.
Would you hold for me?
Yeah, of course I would. Because I'd hold it right.
What's the proper way to hold a football?
Well,
besides laces out, obviously.
Well, it just depends. We'd have to practice a couple times because it depends on how you're gonna kick it. It's how I would shape the ball. So you don't just put your finger on it and hold it up straight up and down.
Okay.
There can be a tilt to it forward and backwards. There can be a little bit of a lean left or right. Usually you lean it towards the kicker's body a tad.
Okay.
So in a holder's position, that would be away.
Away from the holder, okay.
Yeah. But it depends. Different strokes for different folks, baby. I can't wait. Coob, how far are you going to kick a field goal?
I think I could do 30. I've tried it on the Millwoods field or whatever they have, and I think I just sniffed 25. If I only had one attempt, though, I would put money on doing 20. But if I had like 2 or 3 rips at it, 30, no doubt.
Yeah, we'll have some rips at it.
Yeah, I guess you could move back every time you made one.
Maybe that's what we should do, is we should talk to somebody with the Elks and have a little bit of an afternoon.
You against you against Boris Beatty. How would that be? You could just trash talk him the whole time. Hey, Beatty, remember when you kicked out of bounds off a kickoff? Nice job.
He'd probably... I've been in scrums with him. He'd probably laugh at me and be like, yeah, you're right. He's a pretty positive guy.
Well, and they have to have short memories.
Oh, yes.
Well, most athletes would, but I think especially kickers. All right, 780-218-9999 is the River Cree inbox. You can also participate with the show and with each other in the nasty chat on YouTube and continue to drive that thumbs up total higher and higher. Back for the final segment of the show in a couple minutes.
Just getting underway, Canada battles Czechia in World Juniors quarterfinal action, while Finland's up 4-2 nearing the end of 60 minutes over Slovakia. And 4 games are live in the NHL, including the Wild and Caps tied at 1 aside, with Minnesota's Jared Spurgeon out week to week. Meanwhile, the Bruins trail 2-0 against the Rangers. Detroit and Columbus are notched at 1 aside, and the Hurricanes lead 1-0 on the Panthers with 5 minutes to go in the first for all of those games. And down south, Notre Dame was victorious over Georgia 23-10 in the Sugar Bowl. And on the court, the Celtics, Timberwolves, and Pacers against the Heat are both in progress in the first. The Reid Wilkins Show wraps up on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
Your home for live music and great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino.
When I'm up, I can't get down, can't get down, can't get level.
Don't Don't miss Canadian singer-songwriter Alan Doyle as he brings the East to the West, January 17th.
I say, hey, it's just an ordinary day, and it's on your state of mind.
Get your tickets at River Cree Resort and Casino. River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement, bet on it.
Looking for a winning strategy for your retirement? Contact me, Joaquin Gage at K4 Financial, where expertise meets dedication. I will always look for a careful approach to your retirement, ensuring your financial future is secure. From tailored strategies to clear, actionable advice, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Don't leave your future to chance. Get in touch with me, Joaquin Gage, today at k4financial.ca or email joaquin.gage@k4financial.ca to start planning for a brighter future and a more secure retirement.
Edmonton Sports Talk delivers a mass audience of key, influential customers to your business, all while you associate your company brand with the biggest names, the hottest sports news, and teams from every league around the globe. Oilers and Elks, NHL, NFL, Major League Baseball, and the association, Formula One, soccer, golf. Oh, sweet mama! The excitement is palatable on Edmonton Sports Talk. It's where fans go to get their sports fix and where our partners find the most loyal consumers. Contact us today and see how our team on Edmonton Sports Talk can score the biggest goals for your business. With various advertising options available, email business@edmontonsportstalk.com or head to our website and send a message at edmontonsportstalk.com.
Food Sausages makes their meat with nothing but the best local ingredients. From chicken, beef, and pork, their gluten-free sausages are packed with flavor. Every single bite. Get a 10% discount when mentioning Edmonton Sports Talk in-store or use the code EST when shopping online at foodsausages.ca. Plus, you get free delivery on orders of $100 or more. Find them at 6736 99th Street. Food Sausages. You can't beat our meat.
We have on the ESTV right now the final 2 minutes of the World Junior quarterfinal between Finland and Slovakia, 5-3. Finland leading that game. Canada, of course, taking on Czechia. Sweden and the United States have already advanced to the semifinals. So there's a quick update there. And Notre Dame did indeed win the Sugar Bowl over Georgia. So the Final Four set in the NCAA college football playoff. Along with Jay Milne, I'm Reid Wilkins. Hope you're having a great afternoon. Hope your 2025 is off to a great start. Did you do anything New Year's Eve?
Yes.
Okay. And I must not say, Reid.
I'm sworn to secrecy.
Well, I did something, all right.
They call me Wolfman.
Yeah, you'll find out in 3 years.
Yeah, no, we just did the appetizer thing.
Okay.
And then we watched there was a Nashville countdown. We watched flip between that and the one in New York.
Oh, nice. Okay. So, but
we just chilled. We didn't.
Were they time synced to the mountain zone? Or
no.
Were they?
Well,
they were just whatever.
I just discovered today when I was kind of I was moaning about it, and Maddie overheard me, and he said, "That's because I was watching the Seattle feed."
Oh, okay.
So Czechia apparently has scored here
already because we just. Oh, that's a great start for Canada. Not good.
So let's see what we can do here. We went to the ESTV TSN feed 1.
Now on New Year's Day, did you do your Chinese? You wanted to do what? Order Chinese food from Sherwood Park?
Yes, and we did.
The world capital of Chinese food. Let's face it.
And it was the golden capital that we
people
ordered
around the world say you haven't had true Chinese food until you've had it from Sherwood Park.
That's right. They come from far and wide. It was fantastic.
Even China.
We had. Okay. Well, now we're going to kick off buying
or selling for Damon Bunting, a consistent top-producing realtor in the greater Edmonton area. He and his team would love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. Community-driven, he understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. Check him out, DamonBunting.com, Instagram handle, Damon Bunting Real Estate.
Okay. buying or selling that ginger beef is the top of the mountain when it comes to your Chinese food order?
Oh, that's a good question. What about sweet and sour pork?
Buying or selling, Reid, that ginger beef is the number one first overall AAA grade pick when it comes to your Chinese food orders. Zach's already shaking his head.
I have to, because I haven't got Chinese food in a while.
It's either you know or you don't. I mean, for me, it's a no doubter. I mean, that is number one pick in any Chinese food order is it. We got to have ginger beef.
Yeah, I guess it's a must-have in any order. And we were talking about the other day, every culture, ethnicity, or whatever cooking style has a beef dish. It's just how it's delivered.
Norm says buying.
I guess I would have to buy that because, I mean, rice is a staple as well, but rice is more something that goes along with it.
I don't see it as a staple.
Yes,
I have
it is.
To get
Yes,
chicken,
it is.
I have to get chicken fried rice now because that's the girls love rice. But I'm much more of a noodle guy.
Oh, you're saying if you're getting one type of starch, so to speak.
Yes, I would not pick fried rice as my number one starch. Actually, my number one top pick starch would be Shanghai noodles.
Oh,
which
interesting.
Are the thicker
okay.
ones.
Yeah, those are good too.
Oh, I love those.
Okay.
Coob's laying it down. Coob, what's your 1-1?
Well, I would say Shanghai noodles probably is up there. I always love those. Yeah. My mom hates them, though. She calls them worms.
Okay, as far as meat, yeah, they do look like worms.
They kind of do. They're pretty thick.
As far as the meat category.
Honestly,
and if they're too sticky, it's gross.
The noodles?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just any sort of rib, like pork rib, I don't know, beef rib in there of some sort, salt and pepper. I don't know, but I'm not going with ginger beef.
So
no
you're
Reid
more
Schaefer
of
for me.
a dry rib kind of guy?
Yeah, I do. I just like the flavor a little bit more, and of course, if ginger beef is there, I have nothing really against it. But it's not my first overall pick. I might go, second or third.
We went with chow mein, which was the skinny little noodles. Those were great.
Right. Well, what about like beef and broccoli? That's
beef and
a
broccoli.
staple too.
That was my mother-in-law's number one.
I guess ginger beef is the safest one.
Yeah. Ginger beef is up there. Jasmine says sweet and sour pork is number one, ginger beef second. Sweet and sour
we're getting
pork,
a lot of participation on this.
Of course.
That's great.
Sweet and sour pork's great, but it's so easy to screw up. I've had sweet and sour pork that is so saucy.
Well, that was the problem when I did the mall Chinese when I went Christmas shopping. It was tasty, but it was also like, my God, it's just drenched in the sauce.
The ginger beef is usually, and I understand. I'm not essentially looking at the aesthetics of this.
Right.
Ginger beef has a weird look to it. I get that.
Yeah, fair enough.
But the taste is number one. And ginger beef, I've been yet to find a ginger beef that is too saucy.
Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, it is oddly shaped, though. It's like, what is this? A bracket that had a seizure?
We don't need to talk about it.
Why not?
We don't need to go down that road. I just like ginger beef.
But when I went to the mall Chinese, I got rice, I got ginger beef, and I got sweet and sour pork. I don't think there were chicken. What about chicken balls?
Chicken balls.
Who's that for?
My wife and kids. They're all watching.
Okay.
So hi. You can say hi.
Hey.
That's all you're going to say?
Well, what do they want me to say?
I don't know. Tell them a joke.
What's black and white and red?
I don't know.
A newspaper.
Oh, bam. Good one. Yes.
It's black and white.
Yes. Did Reid get lost in the sauce? Yes, Reid did get
I
lost.
did get lost in the sauce. That was when Debbie Gibson wrote Lost in Your Eyes. The second title choice for that song was Lost in the Sauce. Do you remember Debbie Gibson?
I sure don't.
What is it? Electric Youth, I think, was another. How do you know?
Why are you looking at him for?
Well, because Coop, I don't know, he could look it up for me because I'm always looking up weird stuff. Like Google must think, who is this guy? Sports stats and like random music facts.
Debbie Gibson.
Yeah, wasn't she Lost in Your Eyes? Because she was out around the same time as Tiffany. I think Lost in Your Eyes was one of her hits, and I think her album or maybe another single was called Electric Youth.
What's Lost in Your Eyes? What song is that?
It's a song.
Give me a couple bars.
I don't remember how it goes. When I get lost in your eyes, probably is one of the lyrics.
Still missing. That didn't put it together for me.
Is that a song, though? Is that a Debbie Gibson song?
Lost in Your Eyes, yes.
Yes, and was there an album or a song called Electric Youth?
Yes.
Okay.
Both appear to be on the same album.
That's everything I know about Debbie Gibson.
Actually, the album was called Electric Youth.
Okay.
And there was a song title called Electric Youth on the album. Self-titled song.
Right. So that's why I don't remember random scenes from Happy Gilmore, because I remember random music facts like that. For someone who probably I wouldn't have even had listened to a lot of Debbie Gibson. I just remembered stuff.
Well, there's a lot of discussion here about Chinese food. War wonton soup, yes. Dry ribs, yes. I mean, let's be honest here. There was an abundance of Chinese food to pick from.
Yes.
Actually, the sesame chicken probably surprised the most. That was
So how many different dishes did you get?
Well, we got the noodles, we got the beef and broccoli.
Yeah.
We got the ginger beef, we got the sweet and sour pork, and we got the sesame chicken, and then the rice. So 7. 6, 7.
And did you get it delivered?
No.
You went and picked it up?
Yeah.
And is this the only time of year you'll have Chinese food?
Maybe one other time, but it's very rare. But the nice thing about this place, Golden Capital in Sherwood Park, is that you can order it without MSG. You can say, hold the MSG.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And this is a downfall. Sorry. But I gotta air it. I gotta tell you, I gotta
air
be
some
honest.
grievances.
I gotta
We're
be
doing
honest.
Festivus today, everybody.
Yes, this is our Festivus for the rest of us. They charge for the fortune cookies.
So why not just don't get any then?
That's like my kid's favorite part of the meal.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Don't get fortune cookies.
Well, I don't know if you
Who is this guy?
Well, I'm just saying, if you're that concerned that you were charged for them, don't get them.
Why would you charge for them anyhow?
What was your fortune? That's what I want to know.
I spent over $100 on your food. Give me a cookie that looks and tastes terrible.
Give me a cookie for nothing.
Yeah. Or just give me the fortune. No cookie. Just I don't know.
So, what was your fortune?
I didn't even get one. The girls love them.
Oh, so they take all the fortunes for themselves.
Yeah. There was some good ones. I can't remember exactly, but some, I think I threw them out this morning. Be brave. Take a chance.
See, that's not a fortune.
Well, yeah, it is.
Was that a Deadpool movie where he's opening fortune cookies and it's like, that's not a fortune. That's like a saying, Like a fortune is a prediction about the like saying, like, be yourself. That's not a fortune. A fortune would be being true to yourself will lead to success. Or even saying something like, in a tough situation, remember to be yourself. Then you might think, okay, but just saying be yourself, that's not a fortune.
Maybe for some people it is, Reid. Maybe for some people
it's a fortune cookie, not an inspiration cookie.
Well,
we should make inspiration cookies.
Too.
Yeah, and they give you lottery numbers.
The girls really want some of these numbers.
Yeah, those are your lottery numbers.
Come on, girls, let's go to the gas station.
Let's go gamble right now. No, those are your roulette numbers, girls. Let's find a wheel. Let's go on Cool Bet.
Ooh, Smitty the welder sent in his entire Chinese food order.
That's amazing.
Special chow mein, Shanghai noodles, ginger beef, sweet and sour pork, dumplings, special fried rice, and wonton soup. That is an elite order.
That's a pretty good order.
That is an order I could get down with. I'm eating that order.
Buying or selling?
Go for it.
There's a problem if Canada doesn't medal in the World Juniors.
That's a loaded question to ask somebody with less than 5 minutes
right
left
at the end of the show.
Reid.
Right at the end of the show.
And yes, Charlie, I do miss Chef's Temptation in Sherwood Park. Wow. Well, there's a hole in my bucket, dear Liza, dear Liza. That's Hockey Canada right now. It's just a matter of how big this hole gets.
I see that as Dave Cameron's getting some criticism. Wasn't he the coach when they blew that lead in Buffalo? When they had a 3-0 lead to Russia and they lost? I was a little surprised they've gone back to him.
I mean, look, the end of the day, these are young men playing for their country.
Right.
I'm not the type to poo-poo on them. They're living out their dreams. This is something that they've waited for their whole life. This is a dream come true. If it's not their year, it's not their year. It wouldn't be the first time. It won't be the last time.
Right, but they're there to win once you put the uniform on.
Of course they are. But it's like when the U.S. plays the international now in basketball.
Oh, there's a penalty. There's a kneeing penalty on Canada. Is that going to be called?
Things are getting a lot closer around the world, hockey-wise, than they ever have been, which is good for the game.
Okay, let's watch this hit here. I don't know if they are calling a penalty, but we got a...
Looks like he's being escorted to the ball.
He's going off. So I just hope they replay this. This is inside the blue line. It's kind of thigh on thigh. But this could be a major penalty against Canada. So they might be. Hopefully we can stay on for a couple minutes to see what penalty is assessed here.
Reid, we can do whatever we want.
Well, we could just keep going past 6.
Well, I don't know. Can we, Zach? Because isn't there something being the
Mike, the Michigan fan, says, Cameron was the coach of that team. And then was Cameron, and then he was on the Senators staff for a while, wasn't he? All right, well, they went to a commercial, but we can stick around for 2 minutes because I want to let people know if this is going to be a major penalty on Canada for this hit. I'm sorry I didn't quite catch the player's name here, just looking at the TV. But the Czechia player is down and hurt, or at least he's taking Jay's advice. Hey, that was a borderline hit. Maybe I should just look like I'm not comfortable here. Right?
Grumpy Cat says, one can tell Reid it's not 1932. There's color in newspapers now.
Well, the printing's still black and white, right?
Andrea said, Jay, your post of the meal made me order Chinese for lunch today because I did post our meal on Twitter because I'm a man of my word, and I said I'd be eating Chinese New Year's Day, and gosh darn it, I was. Here it is in full speed. That's just a bad penalty.
That is a penalty. So it's Baudouin for Canada. It's certainly a trip. He hits Sikora for Czechia. And this is the odd thing. Like, it's actually not knee on knee. It's thigh on thigh, but he's going in there with his left leg stuck out. It's certainly a trip, and I guess they could still call it kneeing in this situation. Now, we don't have the sound on. Is he leaving the game?
Well, it's a dangerous hit, right?
Yeah.
But, that's man, those Charlie horses right up in that area.
But it didn't look like his knee buckled, right? It's something higher up the leg. Okay, so they're reviewing it for a major penalty. So let's just stick around till 6 o'clock.
What do you think of the ref cam?
I don't mind it.
I think it's interesting.
Actually, I like it. Wherever you can put a camera that's not intrusive, why not do it?
Now, Reid, you see the camera right in front of us is running the entire studio here.
Yes.
Do you not think they could get a less invasive camera to wear on these referees' heads?
Well, it's not that big. It doesn't stick
big.
up like a...
Sure it does. He looks like... It's invasive. Now, this player is wondering if he's... What's the worst that can happen here, Reid?
5 in a game. And then Canada's down a goal and down for 5 minutes halfway through the first period. The shots are 10-2 Czechia. So it's certainly tripping. Is that kneeing?
Yes.
That's kneeing. That is, now that I see it again, it's not knee on knee, but it's closer to that play. And again, if you stick your leg out like that,
see that player? Did you see what he did?
He
was on the ground.
Made sure people noticed.
He looked at the referee and said, "Referee, do you have your hand up?" Okay, you do. Good, it's a penalty. Now I'm going to milk it, which is what the punter for Georgia should have done twice.
Okay. Well, we can't hear the sound, so we'll have to just kind of see what the graphic they put up on TSN. Kneeing.
Oh.
And
being taken out of the game.
He's done. That's a 5-minute penalty. You know what? I think I have to agree with that, even though it hurts Canada. I mean, it's a dangerous play. If you stick your leg out like that, you know you're putting yourself in risk of getting a penalty and at risk of injuring the other player. It's like sometimes when a player takes his hand off his stick and gives the guy a little tug and gets called for holding, and the fans will say, "Oh, it's not really a hold." Yeah, but if the ref sees you take your hand off the stick and grab, and that's a dangerous play. So Canada down a goal, being outshot 10-2, 10:57 left in the first. They will be shorthanded for 5 minutes. All right. Well, we'll have that to talk about tomorrow. Thanks for we worked overtime to keep people updated. Thanks to Zachary Kubish. Thanks to Jason Milne. My name is Reid. Have a good evening.
Get to know the winners, props, plays, parlays, and more with Nielsen and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11 on The Lock Shop. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.